Be right on time tonight. I'm on dime on time. Welcome, Lucifer. Lucifer, I think that's what it is. Killer name, bro. Hell yeah. Let's go. Bro, that Marco Rubio speech was pretty amazing. My little brother said something to me about it. I watched it and I was impressed. Sure.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Monday. We have some things to talk about. I mean, I guess it's kind of just been like the slowest month, I think, ever in the history of the show. We do have a big show for you tonight. There are some things to get into, some things
Let's
to
have
talk
CC
about.
Babcock,
Our featured
Nipple
story, we're going
Crusher
to be catching
87.
up on the partial government shutdown from Friday, which we did not get to cover. I didn't do a show on Friday. And I don't remember if we've ever done a show about it up to this point yet. But this is part of the fallout from the killing of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. It became politically impossible for the Democrats to approve any appropriations, any funding, any legislation that has anything to do with DHS, ICE, and mass deportations. To that end, there was a minibus spending bill which was on its way to full passage in the middle of January. $1.7 trillion in spending would have funded a half dozen departments and agencies. But after the death of the two protesters, the Democrats basically had to shut it down. And so we did discuss this a little bit about a month ago. The Democrats insisted that the minibus bill, and a minibus, an omnibus, all it is funding a bunch of different things in one bill. They insisted that this minibus bill be split up so that DHS funding would be separate from all the other departments and agencies. And the reason being is because Democrats do not want to fund DHS until and unless the White House agrees to restrictions on the ability of ICE to do their job. So the Democrats said, we're not going to vote for the spending package if there's DHS money, and we're not going to vote for DHS money unless you agree to this 10-point plan. And inside the plan, it's all kinds of things like they don't want ICE to be able to wear face masks. They want ICE to require a warrant from a judge to be able to arrest somebody, which is going to make mass deportations impossible, among other things. And so, long story short, we'll get into the details. The government is now partially shut down. Republicans and Democrats were not able to come to an agreement about DHS, about ICE. And so on Friday, the funding for DHS lapsed, and now that department is effectively shut down. It's closed. As we talked about a little bit last week, this is not going to affect ICE, ironically. ICE has enough money from last year's big, beautiful bill. So the shutdown will affect all the other agencies within Homeland Security, like the TSA, the Coast Guard, some others. And here's the thing, and this is what we're going to get into tonight. The partial government shutdown in and of itself is not that interesting. Like I just said, ICE is actually insulated from the effects of the shutdown. So although there are not any mass deportations going on,
See if I
if
can
there
fix
were,
this.
it would not affect them.
A little bit of
The
lag.
reason why this is consequential is because this is a preview of what we're going to be in for the next 3 years. Okay? We are headed for an utter and total defeat in the midterms. And I really shouldn't even say we. By we, I mean the Republican Party. And I don't really identify as a Republican anymore, if I ever did. But when the Republicans lose in 2026 and they're going to get destroyed, but when the Republicans lose in 2026 and they're going to get destroyed, this is what it's going to look like. I mean, the Democrats until 2029 control fewer than half the seats. I mean, the Democrats after these midterms, they're going to control fewer than half the seats in the chamber. The House, after these midterms, the revenue bills, all the spending bills actually have to come from the House. So you think it's bad now? Revenue bills, we have the longest government shutdown in history in the fall. So you think it's bad now? We have the longest government shutdown in history in the fall. The partial government shutdown over DHS until Democrats control the House. Mass deportations right now. You cannot do anything. Just wait until Democrats control the House. You cannot do anything. Nothing will happen. So for anybody that thinks things are going to get better, people say we're going to get back on track. We got to show up in the midterms to I don't even know what's even the argument now. What's the pitch? Anybody that's saying that is delusional because they're going to get destroyed. The Democrats will take the House, and then it is impeachment city. We are taking a trip to impeachment city. Everybody knows us. Trump is getting impeached. Vance is getting impeached. Hegseth they're all getting impeached. They're all being subpoenaed. They're all being deposed. And forget about any legislation. Forget about anything. Like I said, mass deportations. To even have a functioning government, they're going to try to shut down. Nice. You understand that, right? That is their mandate. They are going into 2026, into 27 with a majority, with a mandate, literally to obstruct and nothing else. And I predicted all this in 2024. I told you exactly this is how it would play out. So we'll talk about it. It's going to be a good show. Before we get into it, I want to remind you to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment.
Dialed in there.
Let me know what you think about the show. Remember to check out our merch store at Fuentes.store. We got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, quarter zips. It's all there. We are working on our spring and summer lineup, so stay tuned for that. That is Fuentes.store. If you want to support the show, make sure to subscribe. Become a Plus subscriber at AmericaFirst.plus. $15 a month. You get access to the archive, all the shows, everything I've ever done. It's all up there. $100 a month. You get to be in the Telegram group chat with me. And I was in there all weekend. I was pretty quiet on Twitter.
He really sells his group chat.
There's
hard.
nothing happening. But I was very talkative.
He
in the
wants
group
those
chat.
$100
I did like
a
a whole
month
show
menus.
already today. I think I did about an hour worth of voice messages, and I talked about a lot of stuff. I did a bunch of them on Saturday. I did some stuff today.
I hear that.
So if you're not in the $100 a month club, you're broke.
Oh, yeah?
You're broke,
Is that what
and
that
you're
means?
missing out, and you don't really love me, and you don't really support me. Because honestly, that's just where it's happening. That's just where you need to be. You don't have $100 a month to fork over for the movement.
Definitely not.
What are we doing with our lives? But if you're poor, broke, whatever, temporarily embarrassed, piece of shit, you can do the $15. That's perfectly fine too. That's AmericaFirst.plus. We're just joking, of course. Before we get into the news, we have to talk a little bit more about clavicular. We do have to talk a little bit more about it, what's actually happening in the real world. You know, we're talking about politics. We're talking about the government shutdown, the Middle East. Yeah, okay, like whatever. Now let's talk about what's really going on. Let's talk about, yeah, whatever. Let's talk about what's happening in the real world, okay? And listen, hey, but listen up, okay? Listen.
I
Hey,
think he'll talk about Rupert.
listen. This is
It's big
important.
news.
And this is important,
Super
okay?
big news,
Before
even for
we get
America.
into the actual news, the political stuff, we gotta talk about this. As you all know, Saturday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
For all of the Chads and Stacys that observe, all the Chads and Stacys that actually have affection in their lives, boyfriends and girlfriends, hey, congratulations. All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
Right.
I really hope you had a good time, sincerely. However, there was something else going on Saturday. We just got to talk about it very briefly because
Well, Alex Jones
Saturday
was
night,
doing
Valentine's Day, I don't have any plans.
They were really,
Everybody
they let
was
the
saying,
files
because I
rip,
canceled the show
apparently.
on Friday, they said, he's got a girlfriend, he's on a date, he has Valentine's Day plans. There just wasn't anything in the news on Friday. And I was tired and didn't feel like it.
I watched
on
the
Saturday,
bit.
I'm hanging
Saturday
out,
night.
I'm watching a movie, I ordered a pizza by myself. Doesn't get any better than this. Then I go on Twitter. Did you see this clip? We're going to talk about this clavicular clip. And to me, this is just like, this is my ideology, okay? This is my worldview. A lot of people say, like, what are you really about? What are your real beliefs? When are you being ironic? When are you being serious? I saw this clip, and this is my ideology, okay? This is my worldview. Tell me if you've seen it. I actually replied to a few of the clips on Saturday. I'm watching the clip on Twitter. Clavicular is at a bar, and he's doing his thing. He's out of prison. He has destroyed the Peter Thiel network. J.D. Vance campaign has crashed and burned into 6 million pieces. Clavicular undefeated. He's doing his normal thing. He's at the bar. In this clip, there is this girl who is just like enamored with him. She is just giving him the bedroom eyes, totally enraptured with him.
What's her name? I think.
And her boyfriend
Cooper.
is standing right there next to them. Clav is there on stream, mogging everybody. And this girl, she's okay looking. She is just, like I said, she's enamored. She's giving him this look. It's unbelievable. And the boyfriend is standing not next to the girlfriend, but on the opposite side of Clav. Girlfriend, Clav, boyfriend. And the boyfriend, no exaggeration, is literally begging him not to steal his girlfriend. This guy is begging Clav, saying, bro, please don't take my girl. You have every other girl. It's Valentine's Day.
Why isn't he telling that
literally
chick to go?
Begging him not to steal his bitch. And go and watch the clip. Zero exaggeration. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. He's going, please don't steal my girl. You have hundreds of girls. You have goyim in abundance. You have foids in abundance. Please don't steal my girl. We've been together for a year. Have mercy.
Dude.
And dude, the girl is like not even paying attention to him. She is getting the ick so hard. It's like he doesn't even exist. He's invisible. He's invisible. He does not exist. He's not even there. She's totally enamored. And I guess they were dating or talking for a year. She gives Clav her number. Then she gets with him in the Sprinter van and they take off. And they just take off. They just go out of the bar on Valentine's Day. This is my ideology, okay? And this is my ideology. This is what is happening in the world today. The Middle East, who cares? Jeffrey Epstein, who cares? Congress, doesn't matter. This is the real world today. Your girl is going. Hey, listen up, pal. I got a news flash for you. Nice guy, I don't give a shit. Good father, fuck you. Your girl is going. It is the big 2-6 and your girl is going. This is a reality for young men. This is a reality of hypergamy. And this is real. Picture this. You take your girl to the bar for Valentine's Day. Terrible idea to begin with. Why even go there? But he's with this girl for a year, ostensibly. This is the information that was provided. We don't really know that. He brings his girl to the bar on Valentine's Day. He's not even a bad-looking guy, okay? No homo, okay, everybody? But he's not like even a bad-looking guy. It's not like he's a complete chud. Takes a girl to the bar. In walks the destroyer of worlds. The destroyer of worlds, the Kali Yuga, walks in with the ring light, with the live stream, the aura, status maxed, looks maxed, everything maxed. And she's gone. She doesn't even see you, little bro. You're not even there. Hey, Clav, here's my number.
Really impressed
and this,
by this?
by the way, why am I saying this? What is the purpose of all this?
We know why. You're really impressed.
This is why all simps must die. This is why simps die and God laughs. Simps make a plan and God laughs at them. Simps purchase a gift, plan a date, an elaborate proposal. God laughs. The universe laughs. She's going. She's already going. Here is the point. All these guys out there, whenever I do my show and they tell me, you hate women. Why do you hate all women? Why are you a misogynist? What's your problem? You're not really trad. You're an asshole. Okay, let me tell you something. Those same guys love to say it's these modern women. Oh, it's all these modern women. It's all these left-wing women. It's these degenerate women, right? They say, it's our job. We need to be better men. We need to lead them. We're the Christian Knights of Columbus. We're like the knights of yore. We're like the knights from the Middle Ages. We have to be better. We just have to be better providers, more affectionate, more sensitive, whatever. If they became left-wing or degenerate, it's our fault. It's the scarcity of good men, which is the real problem. Don't blame the women. It's the man's fault. It honestly doesn't even matter. Because here's the truth. Every woman would drag themselves across 6 million miles of broken glass on fire just for the opportunity to throw themselves at the status maxed, looks maxed Chad. And that's the reality. All the simping, all of the white knighting, all of this kind of stuff that you see, it's all in vain. All these little tricks, whatever. Because in the end, you are just gesturing for a woman who the second that the biologically superior male walks in the room, as Eggy once said in the Black Pill Manifesto, she's gone, okay? You're out there at work providing, she's with 500 football players. It's the way of the world. That's the way it is. On Valentine's Day, no less. Let this be a lesson. So I saw that clip and I was just like, this is just brutal. Go and watch the clip. I replied to it on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, this is like required viewing. Everybody was attacking me for replying. I don't know what the problem is. But I saw this clip and I was just like, honestly, it was like I got punched in the stomach. I was like, this is the most brutal, devastating thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The guy is literally begging her.
Put out more.
No, rather, he's begging Clav. The girl, and then, so she's looking at Clav. She is just like, she's gone. And the guy is like, Clav, please have mercy. Don't, you have every other girl. It's Valentine's Day. It's like in these movies, like, come on, but it's Christmas. Don't murderate my entire family. It's Christmas. It's Valentine's Day. Don't steal my girl. And Clav blew smoke in his face and said, are you begging me for mercy?
Why are you bragging on behalf of
He's okay. And I'm not simping. I'm just saying, like,
me. I really
like,
don't
how do you
this.
how do you recover from that? It's just kind of like over.
It's not cool. It's not
I think it's just kind of
news.
over for everybody.
I don't get it. It's like
The guy's
it's not
literally in
he's not
class
even the
goes,
one
"Are
that
you
did it.
begging me for mercy?"
Like, bro, I
Okay,
can
who
watch the
is he?
video myself.
Then here's where it really gets good.
I don't need his
This was actually my
commentary
real
on
favorite
dating.
part. Then she gets on the van. She's in the Sprinter van, and Clav is like just so disrespectful. He's talking to her. He's like, I don't know, you're like a fucking bitch or something. And she goes, you can literally see the pangs of regret. Pangs of regret, second guessing, doubting herself. She goes, well, I was with this guy at this bar that I've kind of been talking to for like a little while. I don't know. I mean, she goes, maybe if I went with him to the bar, maybe I would have stayed with him. And then all the doubt was just washed away. Then she remembered, oh, wait, I'm in the luxury Sprinter van. Never mind. It's like, dude, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. And here's the thing. Now, here's actually, so I'm being a little bit funny about it, but
Not
this is
really.
something that we actually all have to deal with.
Not that funny at all.
This phenomenon is something that we are all dealing with. We are all witnessing. We are all feeling things about it. Excuse me, burp. This is, I just had a Red Bull before the show. This is something that we all have to deal with, like socially, intellectually. And here's what I'm talking about. I went on Tucker Carlson back in October, and he was treating me like I was some kind of freak because I blame women for our problems. He said that on the All In podcast. He said, I brought Nick Fuentes on my show, and all I did was let him talk. And he revealed that he was afraid of women and hates women, and he's a complete freak. And I knew that was his angle. He was baiting me to talk about women because he wanted to do the thing like Alex Jones did also, where they say, you know, women aren't the problem. It's men and women. It's more complicated than that, whatever. Here's the thing that the Gen Xers, the boomers, this is what you guys don't understand. We are all dealing with the issue of hypergamy.
Yeah.
It is real. It is a law of the land. It is suffocating and ever present. And it is only when you see these vignettes, which upon actual reflection are deeply troubling and deeply disturbing. And you would use words like brutal, devastating, severe. It's only when you actually see these vignettes, which I think are very provocative and visceral, do you actually begin to realize the problem. And what do I mean by that? What does it say that a guy is at a bar with a girl that maybe he's been talking to for a year, and she literally treats him like he doesn't exist because some live streamer walked in? What does that say about the stability of any relationship? What does that say
Not
about the
good.
chances of any guy to be in a stable relationship with a woman? What does a guy have to do? And you know me, I'm an incel. I'm not saying this out of desperation. I'm status maxed. I'm famous and stuff. I could probably get a girl if I want to. Okay. But what does it say about your average guy? God forbid, a below average guy. What does that look like for him?
It's not good.
For somebody with the looks and
Not
the
good at all, I
status
can tell you that
and the
much.
money, they just cut through like a hot knife through butter. This is the definition of hypergamy. For the top 1%, 5%, 10%, it is abundance, limitless. And for everybody else, it's jester. We've all seen the statistics from the dating apps. We all actually are now seeing it live and in person. All it takes is a good-looking face. That's literally it. And you look at a guy like Clavicular, went from
he's
0 to
6'2"
hero.
as well, so
Was a complete chud, below average looking guy, taller guy, but below average looks, autistic, so not socially adept, and literally a combination of increasing looks, but also faking some things. Steroids, taping things to his arms to make his sleeves bulge out, putting lifts in his shoes. It's cosmetic, superficial, vain, surface level, and it works. He's got the status, and now the women throw themselves. And this is the reality. If a young, attractive girl is on Instagram at a bar, comes into contact with one of these people from the upper echelon, she's going. She's gone. and without the constraints of shame, marriage, monogamy, morality. This is just the way it is. Haves, have nots. Very unstable society, very brutal society. And I think that it is the reality. We all have to deal with it. We have to live in reality. We can't be in denial about these things. But there is something tragic here, which is that this really is the implication and the logical end state of women's liberation. This is a logical end state of feminism. And what is feminism and women's liberation but the logical conclusion of individualism and liberalism, rationalism? Once you start to say that women are individuals too, and women should have rights, and women should be educated because women are people and they're rational and they need to get educated until age 18 so they can get a job in this industrial economy. All of this follows from that. It all flows from this. And we get a society that is basically devoid of any kind of stability, order, genuine love, affection. Now we just get this, I don't even know what you would call this. I don't even think it's a society at all. It's sort of a very sad situation. And here's sort of the tension that I feel. And it's sort of interesting. Clavicular believes in lookism. And lookism is the idea that looks are the only thing that matter. Why? Because if you have good looks, then you will be sexually successful. If you're sexually successful, well, really everything flows from that. You'll be socially successful. If you're socially successful, you'll be financially successful. Okay, it all kind of flows from this sort of thing. And so if the key in our society is just looking good, well, then everybody should devote all their resources to grooming themselves. Everybody should devote their time, energy, and resources to vanity, grooming themselves, this sort of thing. And Clavicular's taken that to the logical conclusion, the logical extreme, and now the world is his oyster. And it's sort of funny how now people are looking at this and they're sort of laughing at it and people are sort of deeply concerned about it. You know what's interesting, though? Nobody was concerned about it 10 years ago. When the lookism ideology came on the scene, it existed in internet subcultures of sexually unsuccessful losers. It was incels. It was ugly men. It was the uglier races. It was broke losers, bald men, fat men, retards, autists on forums reporting their experiences and saying, like, this is the new law of the jungle. This is the way of the world. In other words, when women were in control of this arrangement, when women were brutal, turning men down, rejecting men, doing all this kind of stuff, it was a big joke, right? If you were on the forums talking about how looks are the only thing that matter and we should invest in grooming and people were trying game, pickup artistry, that sort of thing, well, they were a laughingstock. They were losers. That was for idiots. That was for people that aren't normal. And yet, it was still a very brutal situation where women were extracting resources, women were going for the 10%. They were engaging in hypergamous behavior. 10 years later, now it's sort of like men are catching up in a way. It's like Clav is the revenge of the men. Okay, we want to play the lookism game. Well, what if we use peptides and steroids and injections and all these things to become
Women have
that
been doing
top
it forever
10%.
with makeup
And now
shit.
Clav is disrespectful. He's a whoremonger. Now he is a brutal and severe person. Now you see women being called ugly to their faces, being called fat, being called a bitch, whatever. And I guess what I would say about it, like I said, the tension is I'm sort of rooting for him. You'd like to see women now on the receiving end. You'd like to see the tables turned where women are getting bitched and smacked around. They acted like whores. They acted like superficial and dismissive and all of that. Now they're on the receiving end of it. You're sort of rooting for it. It feels justified. On the other hand, you say this is an arms race where nobody wins. This is a race to the bottom where actually nobody wins. And
Yeah.
what we really get is a loveless society that is
It's a
completely
really
vain,
shitty
completely superficial,
social structure for
based in
males and
contempt.
females. Like,
And
it's
I
it's
would
not
say that
working.
even if
It's not a good
our
thing. It's something to be
conception of sex
celebrated,
and
not
love
at
and
all.
romance in the old days was a pretense or an elaborate ritual, or you could even say people were naive for believing in it, it's preferential to have that pretension than to have this brutal, raw, naked display of, what you're seeing in these live streams, which is that it's all just about these genetic signals, physical signals. It's all just about, your jaw. It's all just about height. It's all just about ratios, things like that. And I'm not knocking him. I'm just thinking about, I think the reason it is such an object of curiosity right now is because I think people feel people feel very deeply about what they're seeing. I think it's affecting how people think. When people see these live streams, it's making us think about ourselves. It's affecting the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. In other words, when you see somebody that is kind of embodying vanity and shallowness, just sort of going all the way and embracing it, being so successful, I think everybody's looking at themselves and saying, should I be doing this? People are ordering peptides. People
I don't
want to
think
look
so.
smacks. People want to drop 10
They
pounds,
are.
get a leaner face.
Feel bad for
And I
them.
think that's why it is such a sensation, because it's very evocative and very personal. And anyway, so those are just some thoughts about what I saw this weekend. Very slow news day, so I'm being a little bit self-indulgent, but I saw that on Saturday and I'm like, wow, like that is my ideology. The Valentine's Day cuckening is just like hard to believe it's even real. But anyway, I do want to move on. I want to talk a little bit about this government shutdown. And I know you don't want to hear about it. I know the Rumble boomers hate it. All the comments and whenever I talk about this at the beginning of the show, the Rumble boomers totally revolt. And they say, that guy's on meth. That guy's on drugs. Why are you talking about this guy? I think it's very
People do
thought
say
provoking, to
that.
tell you the truth. People don't want to hear about it, but this is legitimately the next stage and kind of the fulfillment of lookism discourse. This is a major discursive advancement when we look at lookism, when you look at inceldom, black pill, red pill. There is a very clear through line from Elliot Rodger and Alec Manassian and the pickup artists all the way through to Andrew Tate in 2022, all the way through to this. It's a very clear through line, and you can roll your eyes and you could call it gay and you could say whatever you want to say about it, but there's a reason that it's such a sensation. And like I said, that's because it's deeply evocative and it's very personal. How people feel about themselves, how people feel, compare themselves to others. This is clearly having an impact on the young people. And maybe you don't believe it if you're an older guy, you're like an old fart that's already dead. You're in the end of the male life cycle. You're married. You're in a sexless marriage. You're a loser. You might roll your eyes and say, oh, well, guys injecting
Big talk,
peptides,
man.
that's really
Fuck.
dumb. It's like, okay, but you know who the audience for all this stuff is? It's teenagers. The audience for all of this is young boys and girls, actually.
Yeah, they're not allowed to
Teenage
leave their
boys and
parents'
girls,
house.
college-aged boys and girls. They're all watching this little soap opera. It is affecting them. And ignore it at your own peril. Don't pay attention at your own peril. I'm telling you, sums up there. It is a phenomenon. I view it in a very similar vein that I view Donald Trump, Andrew Tate. It's easy to sort of say it's a flash in the pan. It's edgelording. Oh, that's just this. It's just that. No, I don't think so. I think this is something. But anyway, that's that. I do want to move on. We're going to get into our news. Our big story for the night is about this government shutdown. And once again, I hate to say I told you so, but this is all playing out exactly how I told you it would play out 2 years ago. So our big story, our only news story really in the past week is that there is now a a partial government shutdown. The Department of Homeland Security shut down on Friday after funding lapsed. And this is because the Democrats are refusing to appropriate any money for Homeland Security unless the White House agrees to restrict ICE. And this is a story, we'll read through it. This is from Politico, and then we'll get into a little bit of the backstory, how we got here. And the kicker is that this is just a preview. This is just a sampler. But this is the story from Politico talking a little bit about some of the details here. It says, quote, lawmakers left Washington for a week-long recess on Thursday, showing no urgency to avert a shutdown at the Department of Homeland Security that will take effect on Saturday morning. This was written on Friday. Neither Republicans nor Democrats saw an obvious path forward to resolving their differences over President Trump's immigration crackdown and whether to rein it in as part of legislation to fund DHS. Though negotiations between the White House and Senate Democrats continue, the trajectory of talks suggests DHS funding will be lapsed for at least 10 days, meaning that the soonest that any resolution would be reached is around the State of the Union address on February 24th. The lack of progress has even raised the prospect that Trump's speech to Congress might be postponed, and some Democrats are mulling a boycott. Even if a deal were struck, said one of these senators, I'm not entirely convinced that anybody would vote for it. I can't see the Democrats voting for anything because they're not going to get pounded for funding ICE, and the Republicans on my side are not going to get pounded for hurting ICE. Negotiations between Democrats and White House officials were ongoing as of Thursday evening. Democrats, who have floated a series of guardrails on immigration enforcement in exchange for funding DHS, were expected to formally respond to the latest White House offer over the weekend after Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries bashed it on Thursday without disclosing specifics on what was contained within. It will likely take weeks for the public to feel any pain from a lapse in DHS funding, meaning that each side will feel limited political pressure to give in right away. TSA screeners are not set to miss paychecks until March, and FEMA coffers are likely full enough to respond to natural disasters for the near future. After the Senate failed to pass DHS funding legislation on Thursday, lawmakers in both chambers left Washington with guidance to be ready to come back in a matter of days if Democrats in the White House were able to strike a deal, something that members did not see as a realistic possibility before the end of the week. Okay. So here's a little backstory on all this. Obviously, as you know, back in January, these mass deportations basically hit the iceberg, and it's now over. Trump sent ICE and Border Patrol to Minneapolis, where mass deportations have now died. In response to the investigation of Somalian fraud in Minneapolis, thousands of ICE and Border Patrol were deployed to investigate this, but also to increase the amount of removals happening there. They encountered pitched resistance from local radical left-wing groups, socialists, communists, progressives, brown people of various stripes.
Go smash that like button.
And this
if you
led
want,
to the death of two protesters. First Renee Good, then Alex Preddy. Now, we talked a little bit in January and in February about some of the fallout in the media and in the White House. The media, as predicted, have taken all of it and they have aired it wall-to-wall, 24/7 coverage about the family separation, about the brutality of ICE tactics, about how it's anti-democratic. They're playing up the deaths of the protesters, and they're pressuring the administration to shut down these efforts. We talked about how the administration has responded to the pressure with a total capitulation. As we discussed last week, ICE has officially concluded their Midway Blitz operation, or whatever it was called. Their surge of ICE and Border Patrol has officially concluded as of last week. They withdrew the remaining 3,000 ICE and Border Patrol agents. And effectively now mass deportations are over. But this is the angle that we didn't talk about. And it's very important to understand the different organs of the elites and how they all work and how they all work together and the dynamics. It's really important to understand the anatomy of power and the anatomy of how things work. So like I said, we know the role that the left-wing activists connected to the Democrat machines will play. If you try to enforce immigration law, they will react viciously. So the Democrat city machines, Jacob Fry, Tim Walz, Minneapolis mayor, Minnesota governor, they are going to embolden the agitators. They are going to put out the word that they want resistance. And the local left-wing groups answer the call. Unions, student groups, shitheads, agitators, they all show up in droves at the public protests on the weekends, but also at the riots at night. And they're in the Signal group chats coordinating the interference play against actual ICE enforcement. So that's the role that the big city machine plays, the local shock troops, the agitators. Then you've got the media and Hollywood. They play their part. They shine a light on all this. They show half of the story. They frame it in such a way where it looks like Alex Preddy is some veteran nurse. And they literally, AI looks-smacks the photo so that he looks like a Chad. And they show Renee Good like she's some kind of humanitarian. She's a poet. She just wanted to write her poems for her lesbian wife and her son. And then at the Oscars and at the Grammys, I guess it's the Grammys, you get the speeches from Billie Eilish and from Bad Bunny. Hey, fuck ICE and all this kind of stuff. They put the spotlight on it. And what does this do? Well, it puts the pressure on the Republican conference, the RNC. RNC has to win this midterm election. They need to shore up all 218 Republican seats. They need money. Who are they going to get money from? The Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce is getting pressure from the shitheads because they're protesting at Target in front of the Marriott, the Hilton. Okay, so this is the anatomy of how it works. These are the dynamics. Now, here's the angle that we haven't talked about, and this is the role that Congress plays. This is the role that the legislative branch plays. So, as I said, we talk about how this is playing out. But there's another effect of the killing of Alex Preddy and Renee Good that we have not yet discussed. And this is that after both of them were killed, and it created this big public backlash and outcry, in the middle of the story, Republicans and Democrats were negotiating on a spending bill. So Republicans and Democrats are doing their normal business as legislators, passing appropriations to fund the government, approving new money for the government's operations. And they were on track to pass this minibus spending bill. $1.7 trillion spending bill. It funds a half dozen departments and agencies, routine business. And they had a bill that they agreed upon. And it was going to pass. Republicans and Democrats were going to pass it in the House and in the Senate, and it was going to be, again, just routine business as usual. Well, after the killing of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and all this attention and all the backlash, how does this affect the legislation? Well, one of the departments that is funded by the bill is Homeland Security. And for those that don't know, ICE and Border Patrol are agencies that are subsidiary to Homeland Security. So what is happening here? Well, in a word, Democrats have gained political capital. They've gained political capital. Because the Trump administration has become deeply unpopular, because there is this moment, Democrats are having a moment where there is public backlash against ICE. There is negative attention on ICE. It's hurting Trump's job approval. It's hurting his immigration approval numbers. This gives the Democrats initiative. It gives them political capital to draw upon. And so they can now go to Republicans at the negotiating table and say, hey, although we agreed on this funding bill, now we're reneging on our commitment because we don't want to fund Homeland Security. We're not going to fund Homeland Security unless you give us something in return. And what are they asking for? Democrats are asking for 10 points to restrain ICE. This is in response to the Democrats' voters and the most militant and energetic and radical members of the Democrat group. The Democrats are going to the Republicans and saying, we're not going to fund Homeland Security unless ICE takes off their masks. And what does that do? If ICE can't wear a mask, then that means they're going to get doxxed. If they're going to get doxxed, then their families are going to get threatened. And if their families are going to get threatened, then they're going to quit. Or they're not going to be able to participate in patrols, in raids. They're not going to be able to do their job. It's designed with this in mind. Number two, they all got to wear body cameras. What happens when you put a body camera on an ICE agent? They can't do the patrols. Because anything that they might say or do that could look bad, they know their head is going to be on a pike in the court of public opinion. If they go up to somebody who is obviously illegal or they know they're illegal and they initiate some kind of, I don't know what you would call that technically speaking, but they try to apprehend somebody. If they say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, oh, it's going to be on TV. And I'm going to be the next Derek Chauvin. I'm going to be the guy that shot Alex Preddy. So they're going to not do their job. It's designed with this in mind. One of the other points, they want a judge to have to give a warrant for ICE to make an arrest. So go figure. We have 30, 40 million illegal aliens living in the country. You already got to detain them. You got to go out there and get them, arrest them, lock them up. Then you got to put them in a warehouse. You got to detain them in a facility for an indefinite amount of time. Then you got to go to court. They got to have their day in court. We got to adjudicate, give them an order of removal. Then we got to kick them out. It's this whole ordeal. Now everybody needs a warrant. Now we got to get 30 million warrants. It's going to slow it down. Again, you're not going to be able to do patrols. So what are the Democrats doing? They're shutting down mass deportations with process.
Oh,
Under the pretext of accountability and
they're just
transparency,
stopping it.
they're against brutality and all that sort of stuff, which sounds good on paper. What they're really doing is denying. What they're really doing is they're tying the hands of law enforcement and ICE so that it becomes impossible to do their job. And then they cannot deport the illegals can stay, and they're effectively given an amnesty. And that's the point. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing it. And so this is how all of this works. Trump goes into Minneapolis to catch the fraud. Well, the Democrats respond like antibodies in the bloodstream. They respond like white blood cells. And so the shitheads come out and the Democrat machine condemns it. And they say ICE needs to leave. Hollywood trains the camera on it like a loaded gun. The media, Hollywood, on social media, all the attention goes behind this. They get the Republicans nervous. They put the pressure on the donors, on the businesses. If that's not enough, then in Congress, the Democrats come forward and say, well, now we're not going to agree to fund Homeland Security unless you shut down ICE. Now, here's the thing about this shutdown. So Democrats are making this demand, and you might be saying to yourself, well, how can they make any demands? They're in the minority. And it's shocking, isn't it? Democrats are in the minority in the House, and they are a minority in the Senate. So how can they shut down the government? How do they have any leverage? How can they make demands? Well, for those that don't know, this is basic stuff, but I'll just inform you. In the Senate, basically every major piece of legislation, every confirmation of a presidential nominee has to clear a 60-vote threshold, a supermajority, a 3/5 threshold, as opposed to a simple majority. 100 seats in the Senate, simple majority is 51, or 50 plus the tiebreaker, which is Vance. Vice president is the president of the Senate and acts as a tiebreaker in the event of a tie. But to pass major legislation, you need 3/5, you need 60. It's a procedural thing. If you don't have 60 votes, theoretically somebody could filibuster and they could indefinitely extend debate on every motion, on every matter. And it requires 60 votes to close debate, to invoke cloture and go to voting. And this is really arbitrary. This is not in the Constitution. It's not written in stone. This is parliamentary procedure. And it is effectively there to hamstring the government. It is there to slow down government and prevent the Senate from doing anything. Now, you might have heard the phrase nuclear option. This is the idea that the ruling party will eliminate the filibuster and they will vote to say that we're not going to abide by this anymore. We're just going to pass legislation with this simple majority. We control the Senate. We're going to pass a legislation. You don't get to shut down the whole government when you don't even have the majority because you have a handful of votes. This is where we are. Now, the reason this matters is so that you understand this particular government shutdown may not do anything. The Democrats shut down the government in the fall for 45 days, longest government shutdown in history. In the end, they didn't even get anything. They said they wanted these Obamacare tax credits. They didn't even get them. They came up with a number of other demands. They didn't get anything. They shut down the government in the fall just so that they could tell their Democrat voters that they resisted Trump. Just so that they could say, well, we didn't go with Trump. We put up a fight. It's kayfabe. It's fake. They're doing it just to do it. On some level, they're slowing down the administration. It's having some impact, but really it's more for them to go to their base and say that they did something. And that's exactly what this is too. They're going to the White House and they're telling them, we're not going to fund Homeland Security until you shut down ICE. It's not going to happen. The White House is not going to agree to shut down ICE. They're not going to agree to a lot of these things. They might agree to some of it. And there are some reports that the White House has agreed to body cams. They've agreed to rules of engagement. There's some compromise, which is not good. But the government will reopen. They're not going to totally shut down ICE. Why does all of this matter? It is to get you to understand where all of this is going. Where does all of this point towards? All of this points towards the inevitable conclusion that when we arrive at the midterms in 9 short months, okay,
last night,
that came up real fast, didn't it? One day you're celebrating the golden age, you're Elon Musk, Roman saluting, this victory really mattered, my heart goes out to you. The next day, it's 9 months until the midterms. Republicans will lose the midterms. What does that mean? They will lose the House. Democrats will have a majority in the House. What does that look like? Well, Democrats most likely will win the House in November. Republicans still have until January. In January 2027, the Democrat majority will be seated. Now, what powers do they gain? Well, they don't just have a majority in one chamber. Some things you need to understand about the House. Constitutionally, the House has the power of the purse strings, which means that all spending bills, all revenue bills have to originate in the House. So Democrats control all appropriations. See where this is going? You want to fund the government in 2027? You got to deal with Hakeem Jeffries. You want to fund your government? You want to fund your anything, your Department of War? You want to fund your literally anything? You don't want to be in a permanent shutdown? You got to go through the Democrats. And the Democrats are going to have some demands about ICE, about tariffs, about everything. That's one. Two, Democrats have oversight powers. They have investigative power.
He's right about that, but it's not as open and shut as he's making it seem. When the government's closed, the country is pissed off. So if the Democrats want to hold it up over something menial, like cameras, body cameras, then they're cheating people out of their government benefits, basically, over something menial. Like, the government does have to operate, and the Democrats can hold it up, but at some point they have to allow it to operate. They can't just stand in the way of the U.S. government doing everything over one little thing. They have to at least compromise. He's making it seem like they're in power or they will be completely in power. No, that's not the case. They just have a more of a say. That's all.
They can subpoena, they can depose, they can compel the release of documents, they can impeach. This is a preview of what the rest of the presidency will look like in 2027, in 2028, when you have a Democrat controlled House. These like symbolic government shutdowns, these become real impasses. These become real hostage situations where you're not going to be able to pass anything. Forget about passing landmark legislation. Forget.
How's it going to look when the government can't operate, all because they want ICE to stop enforcing our laws? They can't do that forever. If they do that, they will start losing. They'll start losing elections because of that. Because what ICE is doing isn't against the law. It's one thing for them to ask for tweaks and and expect the Republicans to compromise, but for them to just, oh, we're going to stop the government completely unless ICE completely stops enforcing American laws. That that costs big time political capital. They will pay for that at the ballot box. So they have to pick and choose their battles. They can't just belligerently go out there and stop the business of the government over something like that. They have to do it strategically. Yeah, they can get a lot of things probably, but it's not as if they got the whip hand, because what they're asking for is kind of absurd. They're asking for, or they're making it so that ICE can't even, enforce US laws, because that when it comes down to it, ICE isn't breaking the law. They're just enforcing laws that Congress ratified. This is stuff that Democrats and Republicans voted on, these immigration laws. So, there's an amount they can get away with, but they don't have the whip hand, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Major legislation. You can't even fund your government. You can't even keep the government going. Try doing the largest deportation operation in history when everybody is being impeached and everybody has to talk to
And
lawyers
they
and
can do
talk
the
about.
impeaching thing, but if it gets absurd, if they're impeaching people for stuff that's normal, it will make them look bad. It will make them look unserious, and it will make them look like they want to destroy America. So they can't just go willy-nilly impeaching people. Maybe there are a few people that could use a good impeaching, Bondi for one, but they're not going to be able to just impeach everybody under the sun. Even the Republicans, they couldn't even impeach Mayorkas and stuff. So really, it's only about impeaching Donald Trump. And if they don't have anything to, he makes it seem like the world will be over for the Republicans if they lose the House. And it's just not so. And the Republicans, they're talking about just getting rid of the filibuster and ramming shit through.
Documents and deal with subpoenas. Just try the time and energy to do all that. Try to implement mass deportations when the Democrats are depriving your government of money. How are you going to do mass deportations without any money? How are you going to do mass deportations if we're going to deny you appropriations for some other thing, like the Department of War or like the Development Finance Corporation or some other thing? Your nomination of the Federal Reserve Chairman, which will probably be resolved before then, but these are the kinds of things that become relevant. This is the predicament that we find ourselves in. And this is what I told you would happen in 2024.
This is normal.
How did
It's
we
normal
arrive here? I will
government.
tell
He
you
told
very
us that normal
clearly how we
government was
got
going
to
to
this
happen.
point.
Oh no.
We should
This
have been
isn't
vigilant.
anything
I was. You
different.
should have been vigilant in 2024. Whether Trump and his team showed signs that they had the political will to do the job, because that is really what is required. It was a given that Trump was going to get into office.
I guess I've just been alive a little longer than him. I've seen divided government most of my life. That's all that's going to happen if they lose the midterms. Divided government. I mean, I guess he's only been aware of politics for so long. I don't know. I was aware in the 90s when that was the first time they ever had a majority Republican Congress. The first time in like 80 years or some shit. So really, divided government is the norm.
And that he had to move very quickly and very decisively. That was the only way this was ever going to work, if it was going to work. What I mean by this is all of these aspirations, if you wanted to cut $2 trillion, if you wanted Doge, if you wanted a unified executive, a unitary executive, if you wanted the tariff man, if you wanted mass deportations, if any of that was ever going to happen in this second term, the only way it would have happened is if you moved very quickly, very decisively from the very beginning. Because you were only ever going to have about 18 months at the most. You were only ever going to have 18 months before all these policies, which are extremely disruptive, would have provoked a response from the left in the form of media pressure, resistance from the state and local governments, federal judge injunctions, media pressure, and ultimately, the ultimate bound is the midterms. You can be unpopular, you can be brutal, you can be decisive, you can go all the way, but you got to do it quickly and you got to do it fast because you only have 18 months before the enemy catches up. They launch a counterattack, you lose the midterms, and then they do this to you. And whether we did it successfully or unsuccessfully, this is how it was going to play out. What I mean by that is, so far, Trump has been incompetent. We have not gotten mass deportations. The tariffs have been a pittance, and they're going to be overturned. We haven't solved any of the
What
wars.
makes
We
him
haven't
think that
fired
it's
50,000 government
incompetence?
employees. They failed. Doge
Maybe
didn't cut
he's
any
doing
waste, fraud, or
exactly what he's
abuse.
supposed to
They
be doing.
objectively failed through incompetence, and they're still unpopular. They're still unpopular. They're still cruising to be destroyed in the midterms and deprived of any power anyway. So think about it. The alternative is that we didn't care what the fuck they thought about us. You could have been deporting 5,000 people per day. You could have been implementing martial law. You could have suspended habeas corpus, martial law, insurrection act, arrest the governors and the mayors. You could have arrested Hollywood, Obama. You could have literally dropped an iron fist on this country like a straight up scary dictatorship. Tariffs, arrests, deportations, you could have done it all. And the result would have been exactly the same. The worst case scenario is that the media would hate it, the left would be violent and rioting, the Republicans would be unpopular, you'd lose Joe Rogan, and then you'd lose the midterms and they'd reverse it. It's gonna happen anyway. You see? But here is how you knew it would play out this way. The Republicans never had the political will. And by that, I mean they were afraid of the media from the jump. They weren't willing to go all the way from the jump. They had no control over Republicans in Congress. They were afraid of them. They were asking permission. They moved too slowly. They were incompetent. They used the wrong laws. I mean, think about some of the stuff they did with Doge. Such a ham-fisted disaster that was. You could have went in and cut everything and fired everybody. As long as you did it quickly and decisively and legally and you stuck to your guns, you could have done it. You could have eviscerated everything. You could have done tariffs. But look at the shoddy job they did on Liberation Day last year. They threw together this tariff schedule. We saw how they calculated them. It was ridiculous. And they got overturned in 2 weeks because it was such a sloppy job. We knew from the jump that this is how it was going to go. So I told you in 2024, I told you in 2025, I said, we don't have 4 years. You got 2 if you're lucky. You got less than 2. You have 12 months, maybe 18 months at the most. I said you got that first year, year and a half, 2 years before the midterms. to get everything you want. That's your runway. You got to hit the ground running. And if you can get some momentum, if you have the initiative, then maybe by the midterms, you're cooking with gas. Maybe you've achieved something. Maybe you've done something irreversible. But if you don't get it going by then, it gets worse and not better. And it gets worse and not better because after the midterms, the Democrats have reconstituted. They are fortified and consolidated, and they're going to put up meaningful resistance. And they do it by delaying and denying. They don't have to win the argument. They don't have to win the debate. You are on offense. They are on defense. The left is hegemonic. They control the permanent bureaucracy. They control the media, Hollywood. They still ostensibly control like everything.
Yeah,
We
this
are
is
on
all
offense.
unknown.
We have to score. We have to be scoring all the time.
Nobody was under any illusions.
If we do,
This was a foregone conclusion. Whether Nick said it, whether anybody said it, there is another party. There is another party. Whether they're in power or out of power, there's always another party. And yes, they can affect things. They can, delay shit. I don't get why I guess he doesn't have much to talk about tonight, but it seems as though he's just saying, don't forget, there's another party. They're called the Democrats. I mean, that's the gist of what he's saying. There's another party.
we are always losing ground if we're not advancing. And that's exactly what happened here. If the Democrats can simply buy time by slowing things down procedurally or otherwise, if they could just slow things down, postpone things, if they could get you to backpedal, dilute the message, weaken, that is how they win, just by denial. And in 2 years, this is going to be the most unpopular administration in history. It's going to be a repeat of 2020. That's what we're looking at here. Think about where Trump is. Lowest approval rating of any modern president. Trump's approval is lower at this point in his presidency, lower than Biden at this point, lower than Trump won at this point.
Lower than
Lowest
Biden
that it's been
when 5
in the
million...
second term. I guess that goes without saying.
I don't believe
He's
that.
completely underwater with the under 40 crowd.
I don't believe that at all.
And it's only going to get worse, especially because Trump is not delivering on these things. No mass deportations. Economy's not getting better. Housing prices have literally never been more unaffordable.
Okay, but the border's closed. No matter what, even Democrats are happy about that. I think it's 70% of Democrats are fine with deportations. So, even Democrats are happy about the border being closed. So to say that he's equal with Biden, well, that's either bullshit or apparently people just have that short of a memory. But either way, things aren't as bad as when Biden was at this point.
The wars are escalating, actually, as opposed to getting better.
Oh, and Biden did the Afghanistan pullout.
And now,
dude, what are you
seriously
talking
have
about,
to contend
Nick?
with the possibility that in 2028 we
really
get Democrats on
right
steroids.
Now?
We get Democrats with a vengeance.
Bro,
you do understand that if a Democrat won in 2024, they would be on the back foot.
Oh, man.
If a Democrat won in 24 and they picked up where Biden left off,
bro, they would have just kept everything the
really
same.
In a tough spot.
Back foot my ass.
They would have just kept
everything
they could not
the
be
same.
Aggressive because they would have no mandate.
We would be
no
getting
fucked,
and
nobody would support them. So
it doesn't matter if
soft,
anybody supports
weak,
them.
Flaccid, incompetent Democrat administration, and you would have had like a revolution in 28 for.
But think about the damage that they can do just with having the executive branch. Bro, Biden held the border open for 4 years. There was nothing the Senate could do, nothing the House could do. It was open, and short of them going out there with their own guns, they couldn't stop it. Okay? So don't tell me that if Kamala had won, they would be on the back foot and we'd be beating them somehow. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Everybody's blood pressure would be through the roof. We would be watching the fucking border. There'd be another 10 million motherfuckers that came through. And This is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's acting as if they don't know how to wield the executive branch. Bro, they beat us over the head with that fucking, with the presidency like it's going out of style. I mean, I'll take this over that any day.
Fascist for a Nazi. Instead, Trump has been elected and he has failed at everything except for antagonizing our enemies.
Nope,
The
the
only
border's
thing that he has
closed.
succeeded at doing is provoking our enemies just enough that now they want to kill us.
Except the
And
border's
now they're going to have
closed.
enough juice to do it. They're going to have
The
enough
border's closed.
political mandate to do it. Political capital. Trump has not succeeded in Doge, has not Schedule F'd 50,000 employees, has not ended all the wars, has not massively deported anybody. He doesn't even want to build the wall anymore. They haven't started building the wall. They don't even want to build the wall anymore. That stuff just isn't even happening. The one thing he succeeded in doing is royally pissing off our enemies that
Really,
actually are
though?
willing to and know how to use government power. By going after James Comey and going after all these people and destroying the East Wing, pissing on their face and shitting down their throats and humiliating them, all he has done is guaranteed that the pendulum is going to swing so hard back to the left, it's going to kill all of us.
I don't
Even
see
the people that
difference.
didn't vote for him, even the people that don't support him. Because whatever Mamdani socialist is going to be propelled into the White House in 2028, they're going to be anti-white. They're going to be communist. Okay, they're not going to be based noticers.
You know, I'm
It's
just
gonna be
wondering
bad.
how
Okay,
it could have
it's gonna
been
be bad in
different. Like
28,
if
it's
Nick
gonna be
was
bad in
president
26.
right now,
I
how
told you this would happen. So
what would be
like I said,
different?
this is a preview. DHS is partially shut down, or rather, the government's partially shut down. DHS is shut down. Democrats are now using the 47 seats they have in the Senate to make us cuck ICE, which it's like, why not at this point? We already told them they can't deport anybody. How long did that take? February 2026, and here lies the dreams and ambitions of the second Trump administration. I thought we were supposed to be in the Creed concert by now. Where's my fucking Creed concert? Where's my Code Red Mountain Dew? Where are my charter cities? Remember when they said that? We're going to build freedom cities. We're going to take federal land and build new cities on the blockchain.
Bro,
Remember that?
90% of
was
what they
releasing
say
new
in
policies
campaigns
every
is
day?
bullshit.
By 2026, everyone's going to be drinking raw milk and we'll have state-funded goth girlfriends and there's going to be freedom cities with no blacks allowed and the wall will be 30. Yeah, not happening. It's 2026 and there's no mass deportations. I could tell you things that would make you want to kill yourself, but I can't. I know people in the administration, and if you know, you know. Like, the mass deportations are over. The wall is over. It's all over. And it's not going to get better. Okay, like I said, how do you start arresting 3 times as many people after all of this? After the Democrats shut down the government and make ICE wear body cams? After we retreat from Minneapolis and fire Bovino? So it's not going to happen from now until the midterms. Is it going to happen after the midterms when Democrats control the purse strings? How would that even work? Of course, it doesn't even make any sense. So those 230,000 removals from 2025, that's as good as it's going to get. That is as good as it's going to get.
Okay.
And you just
Moving
buckle
on.
up and wait for them to try to foist J.D. Vance. If there's
What's
anything,
next on the
hey,
agenda, Nick?
don't blackpill. If there's anything good that can come out of this, it is that J.D. Vance cannot be the president in 2028.
Okay.
Why would he be? Why should he be? If this administration is crashing and burning over Epstein, over Iran, over the failure to deliver deportations, well, guess who is number 2? J.D. Vance. So for all these people that are going to tell us, well, we got to elect him. He's the real deal. If he were the real deal, he'd be doing something now. You're the vice president of the United States. You want to have a shot in 28? For your sake, for the sake of the GOP? Where the fuck are you? You got 3 million Epstein files that haven't been released, 3 million that are still redacted. You got no
And don't mistake me, I'm not sticking up for this administration. I'm just saying, you know, if we're not in the driver's seat. We don't get to choose, like we had when we did get to choose, it was between Kamala and Trump. We made our choice, and the rest is just kind of watching things unfold, but I just don't see what he's getting at. It's like just pointing out the obvious. Is that his show, pointing out the obvious now? Because what he's pointing out is very obvious. If even anybody who just slightly, watches politics understands this stuff. So I'm not sure what he's getting at.
deportations. They just told Border Patrol, don't raid job sites with more than a few dozen employees. Where are you? You want Republicans to vote in the midterms? You want Republicans to vote for you in 2028? Hey, man, walk down the hall to the Oval and pound on the door and say, you're killing all of us. Trump is killing you. He's killing the GOP. He's killing all of us. We're all being dragged to hell by this administration, whether we support it or not. Republicans will be blamed. Vance will be blamed. I don't even support him. He shouldn't. If he can't get it done, he shouldn't even be considered in 28. But when a Democrat wins, we are all going to pay the price for this incompetence. And that is how I told you it would be during the election. People said I was crazy. People said I was a Democrat plant. They said I was blackpilling. I'm not blackpilling. This is a clear pill. This is reality. I told you in 24, this is precisely how it would play out. And that's because that's how it played out in the first term. Exactly. To a letter. This is how it played out in the first term. So predictable. And people said it would be different. I mean, they actually thought it would be different. I don't know why they thought that, but they did. And they sold you on a lie. And now we are all in this together, So that's your government shutdown. I mean, who really cares? They want to make the State of the Union a spectacle. Maybe they'll delay the State of the Union. They want to make their demands, show the base they're fighting for them. The Democrats do. This partial shutdown means nothing. But look, you only have 130 more days in this legislative session. Most of them between now and June. They come back for a little bit in the fall, but only for about 20, 25 days, I think. So this legislative session ends in June. This is going to shut down the government until what, March? So think about it. You're not going to get anything. No reconciliation package. You're not going to get any landmark legislation. It's so bad you just can't even make it up.
Impressive.
Like, this is going to be an administration with no landmark legislation, no major bills, nothing. You got your big, beautiful bill, which is a monstrosity. They're not even going for budget reconciliation this year. Trump says we don't need it. Okay, I guess. They're not even going to try. They're going to shut down the government for another 2 weeks. Then you got 3 months left, and then you're done. Then it's cooked. Like I said, then it's impeachments, subpoenas, depositions, investigations. Trump might even be removed from office. When all is said and done, he might even be pulled by his own people.
Am I? Thank you for the
There is a
super chat.
non-zero
Super
chance. As a matter of
nifty,
fact,
Susie.
there's a good chance that's going to happen. Fell for it again. Serves you right. You trusted the Jews. That's what this is. Trump was the Jewish candidate, obviously. And people said that didn't matter because they're based Jews like Stephen Miller. He was the Jewish candidate. He was going to give them the West Bank, Gaza, Iran, Syria on a silver platter. And this is what you get. This is what you deserve. It serves you right. You trusted the Jews. You trusted this Jewish puppet. Now this is what you get. You get riots in Minneapolis again. You get illegal immigrants with an amnesty again. You get another war in the Middle East all over again. I mean, If only someone had said something, if only someone staked their entire career telling you, if you elect Trump, it's going to be a train wreck, it's going to be a disaster. Well, now here we are. So it's going to be rough, but that's that. We're going to move on. We'll take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. Not good, guys. Where's the counter argument? Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the plan trusters? Hey, plan trusters, just checking in. Are you winning? Are the plan trusters winning right now? How are we doing over there? And like I said, the next move is they're going to try to get us all to vote for J.D. Vance. That's the next chapter.
That shit ain't happening.
Have you had your fill of this?
Suck
Well,
my
just get
ass
ready.
on
They're
that
going to try
number.
to make you do it all over again with Vance. Anyone that's against Vance is going to get utterly annihilated, me included. They're already doing it. They're destroying anybody that's against Vance so that this fat fucking piece of shit can lose. It's just, well, people get what they have coming, you know. People get what they deserve. No one's paying attention. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the truth. So now you get this. Now you get the little tech that you deserve. You get the JD Vance that you deserve. People, if you're stupid enough to buy into JD Vance, hey man, lots of luck. You're stupid enough to buy into this artifice they're foisting upon us, this Jew-controlled artifice, hey man, lots of luck. I'm really becoming like hands off. I had a conversation recently with Keith Woods, and I'm like, Keith, what are we going to do? I'm like, we're losing the narrative. These low IQ anti-Semites are being captured by the left and by Muslims. They're like against ICE now. I'm like, what are we going to do? Like this, and Keith is like, what do you mean? What are we going to do? He's like, it's just happening. And I was like, you know, that's so true. Like, why do I feel like I'm in an A24 movie. What's that film studio? I feel like I'm in an A24 movie constantly. Hearts pounding, cortisol spiking, gesture maxing about politics. We need to work in the midterms. We need to prevent. And it's like, why? Why? Here's the information. Okay, look, here's the truth. Here's what's going on. Here's the predictions. My record is untouchable. The information's out there. Take it. It's yours. You don't believe me? People go, well, you're the Fed. You're the fake whatever. Okay, whatever. Kind of taking like a more hands-off approach. So that was kind of, that was a bit of an epiphany. You know? He goes, what do you mean, what are we going to do? He goes, that's just how things are going. So we have two different personalities. He's very like, hey man, just let life wash over you. Me, he's kind of like the Joker in that way, you know, where he's like, all these rules, you know, he's like, and me, I'm trying to make it happen. I'm over here trying to fight the battle and, you know, cortisol spiking, trying to get people to believe the right things. Now I'm kind of like, you know what? I fucking warned you people. What are you people going to do for me, huh? I fucking warned you people. I told you this is what was going to happen, and you all hated me for it. 2 years ago, you hated me for telling you this. Am I wrong? I was there. I remember. I was doing my show every night, trashing Trump and saying, don't vote, don't vote. This is a Jewish nightmare. Look at who's behind him. Follow the money. And you idiots said that I was a Democrat plant. You said that I was in the FBI. All this crap. I have terrible instincts, blah, blah, blah. All this kind of stuff. Oh, now I'm obviously vindicated. Everything that I was saying 2 years ago, now everybody's saying, and they still think they're smarter than me. And it's like, you know what? You keep it. You keep your country. I warned you. I did my job. I did my job. I warned you. I told you this is what was going to happen. I didn't vote for this shit. So My message in 26, you could take it or leave it. Don't vote. Don't vote. Do not vote in the midterms. The Republicans have to lose. They have to lose. They have to crash and burn. A cleansing fire is the only thing that will save us. It cannot be fixed. Fuck them. Fuck Trump. Fuck MAGA. Fuck all this stuff. It can't be fixed. If it could have been fixed, it would have been fixed in 2025, but it wasn't. They made every mistake. Liberation Day, disaster. Doge, disaster. Big Beautiful Bill, disaster. Epstein files, disaster. Iran, disaster. The personnel, Mike Waltz, disaster. Ratcliffe, disaster. Rubio, disaster. Pam Bondi, disaster. All self-inflicted. Trump personnel, Trump policy, Trump strategy, Trump playbook. We tried it your way. It didn't work. Fuck you. Now we don't vote. That's the message. Seriously. Can't blame anybody else. Bad advice, bad advisors, Biden's economy. Enough already. It didn't work. We're not voting. I'm staying home, and you know what? I hope the Democrats impeach him. I hope the Democrats impeach all of them. I hope they indict everybody. I hope they depose and compel the release of documents, and I hope they find all the criminal behavior, and I hope it destroys the GOP. I hope it creates a crisis for the GOP so severe that they never recover. And then I hope we get a fucking Nazi to run in 28. And I mean that metaphorically. I don't mean that literally. I hope we get a fucking fascist to run in 28 to burn the GOP down as a dark horse and win the presidency as a right-wing radical. That is my hope. That is my playbook. That's what I want. I don't trust them anymore. They say, we just got to vote for Vance. No, shut up. I'm not listening to you. The same people that brought you this garbage now want to sell you Vance. I'm not listening. You fucking people told me that Trump was going to deliver a golden age and mass deportations and $2 trillion in cuts and charter cities and all this crap. You lied. It didn't happen. Now you're selling us on Vance? I don't think so. I'm not even listening anymore. I'm not voting. And they could say whatever they want. Say whatever you want. Try and squirm and struggle and flail around. I am not listening anymore. I am not voting. I am not reasonable anymore. We all played that for the last... How many cycles were we the reasonable ones? Hold your nose and vote, lesser of two evils. We can't let the Democrats win. Okay, well, we let the Republicans win. Look at what that has profited us. I know it's profited Israel. I know it's profited Silicon Valley and Wall Street and the rich. What good is that doing us? What good is that doing any of us that live in cities like Chicago or New York or LA or even the red states for that matter? It's not doing us any good. Ken Griffin, Trump's boy, is down there in Miami, back in the Democrat mayor over there. I'm out. You lost me. I voted for Trump in 16 because Trump was an outsider, because Trump was a disruptor. Trump was going to destroy the establishments of both parties. That's not what he is anymore. And that's not what Vance is either, by a long shot. We need something else. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care who it is. All options are on the table, other than voting for the GOP. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Is that not what we have been doing? Republican in 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. At what point do you say, let's try something else? We tried it that way. And I've had them come to me. I've had certain people come to me and they say, you know, we can't burn the party down. That's not a good idea. That's good. It's going to take us forever to rebuild. You're not being reasonable. It's like, you figure it out. It's your job. I've been the nigger of this party for the past 10 years. You won't even let me in the front door. You won't let me in the back door. I have been the nigger of the party for the past 10 years. People got nothing nice to say about me. I'm not invited to anything. I'm not allowed anywhere. All I get is condemned and disavowed, qualified praise. Well, he's a complete horrible human being, but he could talk real good. And now they want to negotiate with me. Now they want to say, you got to get everybody on board. I won't do it. Miss me with that. And I am like all of you in the sense that I am just another expendable young white man that they don't give a fuck about. They treat me like they would treat you. I am just another, I'm a precocious eccentric, but I am just another young white man from a suburb like LaGrange Park in Chicago. My vote doesn't matter. I'm in a blue state. My parents aren't from D.C. They didn't go to William and Mary. They didn't go to Harvard. So we don't matter. We don't matter. Our sensibilities, our prospects for having a wife and kids, with the social climate, owning a home, with the economic climate, the job market, none of that actually matters to them. They don't care. If you say the wrong things, make the wrong jokes, have the wrong politics, they will destroy you with no compunction. We are expendable. Our job is to shut the fuck up, pay the taxes, obey the laws, vote while we get raped. Raped by the people that purport to represent us. And I'm not playing that game. Because that's really what it is. It's the white men that are the backbone of this society. If we acted like the black people, there'd be no society. If white people acted like the black people, there'd be no society. There'd be no tax money. There'd be no budget. Forget that. White people acted like blacks. White people acted like Hispanics. We acted like these new Americans that are coming in over the border. There'd be no budget. There'd be no military. You wouldn't have an army. You wouldn't have an economy. You wouldn't have a stock market. We acted like them for 2 seconds. There'd be no country. So that's why our job is to shut up, do the work, pay the taxes, obey the laws while everybody else is a free-for-all. Well, we are systematically raped and dispossessed, and we vote for the privilege because we're gaslit by these minstrel shows, by these white minstrel shows, to get us to turn out and vote for this policy. You get Jack Posobiec and the Blaze and all this other nonsense. Hey, everybody, vote Republican. It's going to be based and red-pilled. No, I'll wait for the collapse. Yeah, at this point, I think I am an accelerationist, actually. I kind of just am. I don't love the label. I don't know if I'm ready to fully embrace it. But yeah, I'm kind of like, at this point, I have more confidence in everything falling apart than in Republicans helping us. In any way, doing anything. And if they don't like that, well, that's a them problem. They can change my mind. You want to change my mind? Fix it. You want to change my mind? I don't know. Deport some illegals.
What's up, Grand Designs?
Do something. Until then, I'm done. So anyway, we're moving on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. Excuse me. We'll see what you guys have to say about this. That's where I'm at. I hope you can. I think you do relate. I hope you can relate. I think you do. All right, let's take a look. Let me get set up here. What do you think of this is a new suit. What do you think? I think I might need to get it tailored. I think I might need to get it brought in a little bit here, right? It's off the rack. I had to get it quickly. I had to get it quickly for the show.
Damn, I fucking...
I like the color. I like the lapel. All right, anyway. All right. Someone said too shiny? Is it shiny? I think it just looks that way. Trust me, it isn't. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what we got here.
Megan Kelly Squatch sent $20. Hey Nick, first time sending a super chat. I was wondering what your opinion on the Catholic land movement is. I really like it, but I'm wondering if pulling back and secluding and trying to isolate and create mini societies may not be good in the long run.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what the Catholic land movement is. It sounds like what it sounds like. So this is some kind of return to the land thing where we all buy a parcel of land and go and be Catholic over there. I just don't. Here's the thing. I have never believed in that because look at the Russian Revolution. The Russian Revolution happened in St. Petersburg, happened in Moscow. And then they fought the Civil War everywhere. And when they won, they used the railroads to go out to the kulaks and kill all of them. And there's a lesson in this, which is that you may not take an interest in politics, but politics takes an interest in you. You may think you're too good for the city or, we lost the city or something like that. But the city is where the power is. LA, New York, Cambridge, San Fran, DC, Nova. This is where the power is. So people that want power over America are going to go there. And they want to control everyone and everything that happens in these borders. So for all these people that say, well, we're just going to go out to the farmland where they can't get us, where we can do a thing all by ourselves. Okay, it's the 21st century. You can't just pick up Bikini Bottom and take it somewhere else. They'll just drive to where you are and kill you. As a matter of fact, they won't even need to drive. They have drones. So they will just send a drone out and they will kill you that way. So this we're all going to go and form our breakaway settlement in the middle of nowhere. They will kill you, just like they killed the kulaks. If you build anything worthwhile, if you build anything with any economic activity, they will come and take your shit. So unless you're talking about sovereignty, if you want to go to an island and get a nuclear bomb, I support that. If white people want to go on an island, claim it for themselves, get recognition and protection from Russia and China, get a nuclear bomb, and say, nobody fucking touch us, we have nukes. If you want to go like North Korea, you want to go like Israel, hey, that's a realistic plan. But this we're going to go to Kansas and raise up a flag, you're just LARPing. You're like one of these micro countries that they do YouTube videos about. You're like one of these micro countries inside America where they make their own monopoly money and they LARP like they're a head of state. Because you're at the mercy of the government. And I've always felt that way about this. I just think it's a form of denial. Escapism is a form of denial because here's what happens. You look at the battle and it's like we really have an uphill battle here. And it seems so hopeless. And you think about what would be required to change things, and it's daunting. And it's easier to say, we don't need to do that.
Be right back.
We could just go over here. La, la, la. Let's just go over here. Let's build a little amphitheater, and let's set up a little community center. And, let's have 100 white people that all agree on right-wing politics. La, la, la. No, this isn't happening. We're not being raped to death. We're going to form a whites-only community, and everyone's going to join us. It's if it works, it either doesn't work. If it does work, they're just going to crush you. They're going to use their power, intelligence, finance, military, tech, and they're just going to destroy you. So it is a power struggle, and we have to play it. We have to win it. Don't kid yourself. Going and starting a breakaway settlement is a form of a power struggle. It's just one that doesn't have a very good chance at succeeding. I would take my chances in a power struggle trying to become a billionaire, trying to start some tech company, trying to go to Harvard and get into a major institution. That has a better chance of winning the power struggle than, getting a hammer and a toolkit, a toolbox, and building a little trailer, building a little hut. You know, who's going to win the power struggle? The guy with 5 billionaires on his side, the guy with 100 high-powered lawyers on his side, the guy with,
Motherfucking hair got my
you know, a
starburst.
guy with real power in the cities or something, real capital, or the guy that's like, you know, got the villagers. So that's how I feel. But I don't even know what that is, but that's what it sounds like.
Aaron sent $20. Slop was the Merriam-Webster 2025 word of the year. These chats make me think parasocial will be the word of the year for 2026. What do you think will be the word of this year?
Why are you trying to bet on Polymarket? I don't know what the word of the year. It's 2026. It's February. How do we know what the word of the year is going to be? We're only like a month and a half in.
Pickled Beats sent $50. Female millennial and huge fan. You provide logic, a clear path forward and humor during a critical time, and it's very appreciated. Praying for your continued success in the AF movement.
Hey, thanks. A female millennial. Well, I mean, that's fine, I guess. But I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the show. You know, you sound fine. Maybe there's some female millennials that can be wholesome.
Rothbard DK sent $20. Just checked in on the Spencer Wright to see what they're up to these days. Basically talking about summoning the Aryan Antichrist and believing Epstein was less a symptom of world Jewry than a Russian spy. Embarrassed smiley face emoji.
Yeah, you know, I like Spencer, but he takes it too far. You know, he just takes it a little too far. You know, this whole like Apollo thing. I'm not really into that. He hates Christianity. It's like, he's cool. I like the way he dresses. I like his, he's an interesting guy, interesting ideas, but I can't go all the way.
JJ Zag sent $20. Who's worse, Vivek or Byron Donalds? Stay handsome, young guy. Red heart emoji.
Thanks. Probably Vivek.
NP Crowd KJV sent $20. No message, God bless.
Thank you.
Frankie Sanabria Jr. sent $50. Avery Brundage, Eddie Rickenbacker, Charles Lindbergh, and Henry Ford. All America first. Can you tell me what else they all have in common? Here's a clue. Ask one to be one.
Ask one to be one? I don't get it.
Guardian
Thank
Grow
you,
Ever sent
though.
$20. The capitulation with deportation might be the nail in the coffin. The U.S. will be majority Hispanic by 2045. All this bullshit about going to war with the cartel. You tell me how that's going to play out with the over 80 million people of Hispanic descent that are currently here and they're seeing their friends and relatives. Skull emoji.
It is a nail in the coffin. 100%. It's cooked. These people all have amnesty and, yeah. It's not the nail in the coffin for America, but it is the nail in the coffin for this like Republican effort to slow everything down and buy time and retard the change. Like that to me just seems over. New playbook, new way of being.
Amanda Koopa sent $65. This is almost $90 Canadian dollars. Mind blown emoji. You're worth it, King. Thank you for the show. It makes my work week fly by.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm glad somebody's week is flying by. That's good to hear. Well, I'm here to Jester Max for the, I'm here to nigger it up with the faggots, and I'm glad that I can help you. That's my, even though me and Andrew Anglin hate each other now, that's like the funniest thing he ever wrote. And yeah, so hey man, we're all here, we're all hanging out. You know, selling our soul, working all day. What's the next line? What is it? Overtime hours? Overtime hours for bullshit pay. I'm with you. But thanks. Appreciate you.
Gaten sent $20. The Epstein files show Nick eating Gorlock's box. Care to explain? E-Girls
Very
Forever sent $50. What's your opinion on new TXDMB rule that says foreign passport and foreign ID won't be accepted for vehicle registration renewal? How does this benefit Jews?
Who said it benefits Jews? I don't know what's your opinion on this new rule? I don't know what you're talking about. Foreign passport won't be accepted for vehicle registration. This has got to be bait.
Illinois Floyd sent $20. Will you be my Valentine?
It's a little late for that. It's a little late in the game. Oh, these are all from Friday. Okay, no wonder. Well, it's a little late for that. I had no Valentine. I'm a chud. It's over for me. I'm a disgusting chud, and no Valentine, just a pizza. And no, that's not coded language. It's it's actually that sad. It's actually just a literal pizza. Watching Taxi Driver. The Valentine's Day thing is sort of gay anyway, but yeah, nice try. Holeless.
John Bridgeford Hunt
Holeless.
sent $1,000. I don't even think this is cool anymore, but people keep asking me to promote my awesome video
Unfuckable
with big super
chut.
chats. The Boulder City fake tapes conspiracy, not a theory. Now, 11 hours might seem like a long time code, but it's not just a regular video. It has semi-mystical properties and contains the keys to undoing the U.S. Constitution by harnessing the mandate of heaven.
I guess, bro. Okay. Well, thank you for the huge super chat. I really appreciate. Whoa. This guy's, how did you get to be so rich? Have you been selling your medication to somebody? Bro is selling all of his, he's selling all his drugs. Prescribed medication by the doctor. So how does someone this crazy have $3,000 to drop on the show? That's what I want to know. What in the Candace Owens? How does somebody this delusional have this much money to blow on super chats? Hey, but I appreciate it. We love the poorly educated. Thank you for the huge super chat. I'm teasing you a little bit. I believe you. It isn't. You're right. It isn't a conspiracy. What is it with Boulder City? Whatever it is, dude, you are right. You are onto something. Thank you for the massive super chat. I have not yet finished your 11-hour video about whatever that is, but you know, you sound serious. You sound like maybe you need to be in charge of America. I think I misjudged you. I think I made a horrible lapse in judgment. I think you might be right about everything. But thank you for the massive super chat. But I disavow violence. Okay, if you're thinking about doing anything violent, I don't support that. But thank you very much, man. God bless.
Candace's Chocolate Cheeks sent $20. Vincent Loera is gay for going to Vegas and not hopping on Fort.
I don't know who that is, but okay. Is that like your friend or something?
Snake using a real snake sent $20. Shimon Peres also had this kind of opaque unofficial behind-the-scenes diplomat/negotiator for Israel, but with South Africa. But Ehud Barak had more recently in the U.S. This is in the book, Unspoken Alliance by Sasha Polakowski, where he outlines Israel's secret high-level relationship with apartheid South Africa.
Holy red-pilled yesterday, but yeah, you're right.
OKW Ubermich sent $20. Valentine's Day. Thumbs down emoji. Battleship Bismarck's 87th birthday. Thumbs up emoji. Do the peekaboo faggot.
Okay, you disgust me.
Epstein PDF files sent $100.
86, he's not 87.
Epstein PDF files sent $100, sent $20. I just saw that the schizo crazy.
Oh, the battleship. I was thinking Bismarck.
Epstein PDF files sent $100, sent $20. I just saw that the schizo crazy guy sent you another $1,000. I love you and I care about you, Nick. Send that guy his money back and ban him everywhere. I'm afraid he's one of those stands that will stalk and kill you. Be careful and God bless you.
I don't think he would do that because me and him agree on a lot of things. I don't think he would ever do that because he knows that I'm like a real guy. So he's always going to respect my boundaries, and it's never going to get ugly. It's never going to backfire. So I think you might be a part of the Boulder. Who put you up to this? Did Boulder City put you up to this? Are you on their payroll too? John, I think we got to do something about this guy. John, I think we got to take this guy out. Somebody doesn't believe you. John, I think this guy's in on it with Boulder City. Hey, who's paying you to try to shut down this movement? Maybe someone needs to do something about you. I think you need to be silenced.
Ben Higginson sent $20. I've been wearing my Black Fuentes rally hat almost daily since it came out. It has held up extremely well even at work under harsh conditions.
Honestly, yo, new meta unlocked. This is called the Candace Owens option. It's called, we create an army of schizophrenics, and then, I don't know, we kind of direct them. Maybe we direct them. Maybe we direct them. Dude, Candace Owens is honestly, there's something scary going on there. If Candace, how many days and hours before a Candace Owens superfan is like, I have a bomb in Centennial Park? Like, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I'm not encouraging that. We're all thinking it. How many days and hours, how much time before one of the mommy sleuths, before one of the Candace Owens fans is rolling up to Epstein Island, you know, going up to Epstein Island. Let's not blow things out of proportion. How long before that's going to happen? So she's kind of like, should be on the stochastic terrorism watch list. Candace Owens, if ever there was a legitimate way to use the word stochastic terrorism, It would be in the context of a person saying that Sam Altman is a robot and Charlie Kirk was a time traveler and psychics are out to get everybody. They're trying to suppress psychics and time travel. It's actually scary. People are out there worried about CNN. They're like, transgenders are watching CNN and now they all want to kill Trump. It's like, I'm worried about whoever is watching this other show and they're being told that Elon Musk is a robot and they're being told that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler and the Men in Black tried to suppress his psychic abilities. What even must be their conception of Turning Point at this point? I always thought they were just like Jewish grifters, but to your average Candace Owens fan, it's like they're literally extraterrestrials. Like I look at Andrew Colvin and I say, this guy's from Salem Media. He's like a Christian Zionist. He's like a Jewish plant. If you're a Candace Owens fan, it's like, no, he's one of the Nephilim's children. Like he's a children of Seth, or what is it? He's one of the children of Cain. He's descendant of Cain. And he's a reptilian humanoid. Nephilim never die. They just change form.
Miko sent $100. Hey Nick, longtime viewer from Belgium. The U.S. ambassador to Belgium, Bill White, recently called on Belgium's government to drop charges and adjust our laws after 3 Jews got prosecuted for unlicensed circumcisions, calling it anti-Semitism. These people will side with organized Jewry over Europe any day of the week.
That's crazy. Well, thank you for the big super chat. That's totally insane. I'm surprised to hear that. When will you realize that Jews just control everything? So there's no surprises here about any of that.
Rono sent $20. Have you seen the update to the Warner Brothers and Netflix deal? There's a firm called Ancora that bought $200 million of WB stock and are threatening to vote against the deal and potentially remove some board members if they ignore Paramount's offer. They're based in Ohio and manage the wealth of wealthy families and foundations.
No way. I have not been following that, but that's actually crazy. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. Would you be surprised if Warner Brothers was acquired by Paramount? It's time to I don't know. At
Warner
what
Bros.
point do you
is owned
say
by
uncle?
Jews too?
Warner Brothers, Paramount,
all owned
Skydance,
by
TikTok, CBS News, CNN. You know, what do they not control at this point?
Bethmari 777 sent $20.
Me.
Why aren't you defending fellow Catholic Carrie Pre-Jean Boiler?
Okay, why is this accusatory? What does that even mean? Is she that committee woman that got kicked? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why aren't you defending her? It's like, well, hey, I'm not defending her. I just haven't covered it on the show. It's not really on my radar. Okay? Sheesh. I support her. I think I don't even really know. I think I know what you're talking about. That's that woman that was on the committee and got kicked off. I support her. I don't know. I just didn't do a whole shit. It's not really on my radar. To me, that's not a huge story. I love that. Why are you not defending her? Oh, because there's some real... I don't know. I'm just not really...
Yo, hit the like button if y'all haven't already.
I'm barely paying attention to that. But maybe I'll talk about it this week. That's a diplomatic way to raise the issue, though.
American Exceptionalism sent $21. The chairman of Hyatt, Tom Pritzker, resigned today over his affiliation with the Epstein files. Love watching the Pritzker organization's PR department in constant panic mode.
Yeah, I saw that. Another Jew.
Jeremy Wallace sent $20. I believe I speak for many of us in the AF movement. Alex Jones is a liar, fearmonger and Trump shill. We pray that you separate yourself from him and his ilk. Bannon, Tucker, Roseanne, David Dicka.
Fuck off. I love that. Separate, it's like, I'm not going to do that whole rant, but fuck you. You don't tell me who I can and can't hang out with.
Randall from Recess sent $25. People on the right that are more upset by Randy Fine shitting on Muslims.
I love Alex Jones, okay? I don't agree with him all the time, and we have our disagreements on his show. We talk about them. But he's a good guy. He's a good man, heart of gold, and he's always been a supporter of mine. Not always agreeing with me, and there's no secret. We've had our differences in the past, but he has always been in my corner in one way or another. And
I'd be loyal.
I'm not going to turn my back on him over that. We have a disagreement.
Loyalty is...
Who knows why he feels the way he does. I take him at his
rare.
word. I don't think you get that far, do that much. because you're a complete traitor. I think we just have a difference of opinion. And I hate when people always go to motive. It's always going to motive. It's always, oh, so-and-so disagrees with us because they're compromised. Well, maybe he just disagrees. And if you listen to his show, he's banging that drum every day and has been for many years. So, it is what it is. But I love the guy. So I'm not gonna, I speak for all of us. You speak for yourself. Fuck you. I love when people do that. I speak for all of us. Well, this ain't a democracy, pal. My life is not a democracy, you fucking loser. I love that. I think I speak for all of us when we say you need to speak for all. Sorry. Are you the one that got someone showing up to your house with a loaded gun? No. Oh, are you the guy that can't have a bank account? Are you the guy that's been betrayed by everybody? Are you the guy that's been toiling away doing this for 10 years? No? Oh, okay. Well, then shut the fuck up. I think I speak for everybody. Well, everybody ain't doing the show every day. Everybody ain't doing this every day. Everybody not part of this. There's been very few people that have had my back through everything, and Alex is one of them. Even when we disagreed, always gave me a fair shake, always gave me a fair hearing, even when we trashed each other, always gracious. And there are so few people I could say that about. And I don't care what the reason is. I appreciate him as a guy. And a lot of us wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him. So I don't even care at this point. A lot of us wouldn't even be here. People are so quick to throw Andrew Tate under the bus, Alex Jones under the bus, Kanye, all these people. We wouldn't even be here without these trailblazers. And you might not agree with the direction they take things in, and you might question why they do what they do, and you're entitled to your opinion. But you can't take the good without the bad. You take people as a whole. And additionally, you don't have to like Alex Jones, but I do. And he's been there for me, and he's helped me. And I was inspired by him early on. So it is what it is. But I really resent this. There's nothing I hate more than crowd mentality. Nothing I hate more. I think I speak for all of us. Now it's a democracy. It's not a democracy, because it's my life, my relationship, my friendship. Oh, okay. Well, you guys don't like it, so I guess I'll just go with you now. Okay. I'm in the sunken place. Okay, I'm with y'all now. I don't think so. So we'll see where you are in a few years. Alex Jones has had my back over many years, and I'll tell you why I appreciate him. I have been doing this for a decade, and the absolute worst thing about all of this is how I cannot trust anybody. I can have no real relationships. I can never be myself. I can never express myself because I am such a targeted person that if I upset anybody for any reason, in any way, typically I'm not even at fault. They can always turn around and stab me in the back. And people that I've done business with, that I've employed, that I've been friends with, that I've trusted, if it's sour grapes for any reason, then I'm the most despicable person alive. Throw me under the bus, throw everything in the kitchen sink, anything and everything they have on me, they can use against me. That's many people that I've associated with over the years. And so if there are people that have had my back, if there are people that I can fight with and they're not going to fucking throw me under the bus, that have honor, that have there's some code, there's some sense of they're doing things for the good of the country. It's not all personal. It's not all resentment. It's not all grievance based. Then those are people that I want to have on my side. Those are people that I really appreciate because they're very few and far between. And I think about somebody like Alex, who I don't agree with him on everything. And we have had severe disagreements and we've talked shit about each other. But this guy has never fucked me. You know, he has never fucked with me. And that is so rare because you see how it is. It's like I have a slight disagreement with somebody and then they're crashing out on me, say the worst things about me. Now I'm Hitler in a bad way. I was going to say, I meant like, now I'm the worst guy ever, the boogeyman Hitler. So anyway, so that's why I love Alex. He's always been, he's been a good friend over the years. Good dude. So that's my defense. Now, you say his ilk, Tucker, Bannon, Roseanne, David Icke, these are different people. David Icke is just a dick. Roseanne is a Jew. Tucker is a Fed. He's just an untrustworthy piece of shit. Bannon, I have never had a dealing with Bannon. I never talked to him, don't know him. And we had beef in the past. I hear he's coming around. So I haven't made up my mind yet on him.
Randall from Recess sent $25. People on the right that are more upset by Randy Fine shitting on Muslims than their anti-white rhetoric should just join the left officially. Also, Michael Tracy's crusade to defend the honor of Chomsky is hilarious. I don't think he did anything perverted, but he's a feminist third worlder, so you reap what you sow.
I agree with that. Yeah, dude, I saw that tweet and I was like, I knew it was going to be that way. Randy Fine says, we would rather have dogs than Muslims. And everybody goes, that's racist. That's Islamophobic. And, okay, what I should at this point just say, yeah. But look, they were saying something about how Muslims say that dogs don't belong in the house. And so Randy Fine said, well, don't make us pick. If it's dogs in the house versus Muslims in the country, Americans love dogs. Now, okay. Now, that's what he says. That's what he said. That's what he's saying. I'm not defending him. Don't lynch me. I'm not defending him. That's what he said. We all know what he meant. What he meant was Muslims are dogs. We know what he meant. He's a Jew, so we're all goyim. We're all dogs to him. But it's crazy that everybody just turned into like, that's Islamophobic. And it's like, okay. I'm kind of tired of hearing about Islamophobia. Can I keep it a buck? Can I just keep it 100? Can I keep it 100 for a second? I don't want Muslims in America either, okay? I don't want Jews in America. I don't want Muslims in America. And I'm just being honest, okay? Can I just keep it a buck? I'm kind of getting tired of hearing about Islamophobia. All of our Muslim allies in the struggle against Israel, they're always bitching about Islamophobia. You just hate Muslims. And it's like, well, it's like, well, see, here's the thing. Now, hate is a very strong word. Don't really want to live around a ton of Muslims, though. Like, I watched Sneeko stream earlier tonight, and he was watching this video where a bunch of Muslims were praying in the park, and this certified patriot was shitting on them. This, like, all-American white patriot was, like, making fun of them and saying, this is Jesus country. And Sneeko was like, they're not bothering anybody. They're quietly praying. This is America. And I'm like, yeah, this is America. You want to pray? Go in your mosque. You already have your mosque. Go there. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, and he's like, but dude, it's unity. It's Ramadan and it's Lent. I'm like, do we really want to go down this path where it's like happy Ramadan and Lent? No, I don't. No. Sorry. You want to pray? Mosque is over there. Okay, the designated Muslim zone is down the hall to the left. You want to rotate around the cube? Well, just saying. And listen, I love everybody. I love everybody, and I have Muslim friends. I do. I have Muslim friends, but the constant Islamophobia, like we are, like there's a bit of a clash. Excuse me there. Let's not overplay our hand on that one, you know? So anyway.
Fixing to go get some
Yeah, all these
Advil.
people responded to that tweet freaking out. I'm like, do these, by the way, hey, here's a quick question. When Ilhan Omar shits on white people, do we get a bunch of Muslims condemning that? I don't see it. When Muslims shit on white people and Christians, do Muslims get all up in arms? Do they expect us to go? Or rather, are they expected to go and defend the Christians and the white people? I never see that. I'm just saying. That's just me.
Bosky 89 cent $25. Hey Nick, forgive me if this is a stupid question.
Some of them, not all of them. Sneeko is always in our corner. Some, not all. Sneeko's okay.
Bosky 89 cent $25. Hey Nick, forgive me if this is a stupid question. With the Great Awakening in regards to the JQ, is there the possibility that the Jays are pushing the awakening to happen even more to usher in a mass surveillance state or some other agenda? Keep up the good work and never miss a show. Highlight of my weeknights before bed.
Yeah, man, it's all a conspiracy. You know, I really just have a problem with this, like, line of thinking. Something happens, how can we blame the Jews? You know, if the Jews are involved, it's typically fairly obvious. Here's the problem. The Jews have been fighting this every step of the way. The Jews have not been egging on the mass awakening at all. They are trying to suppress it. If anything, Jonathan Greenblatt tried to get Elon Musk to suppress anti-Semitism. They're not allowing it. It's out of their control. And they're trying to stop it. Ronald Lauder's trying to pass anti-Semitism laws. They are trying to roll it back on the universities. They're trying, you know, if they wanted anti-Semitism to flourish, why would they ban TikTok? Why would they then facilitate the sale of TikTok to Larry Ellison if they didn't care? If they wanted anti-Semitism for some end, why would they be trying so hard to shut it down? Because they are. Greenblatt is trying to get censorship on Twitter. Ronald Lauder wants anti-Semitism laws. Larry Ellison bought Twitter. They hired Barry Weiss at CBS. Like, they're trying to shut it down. So, but people always look at anything that happens and say, maybe there's some roundabout way. And I just think that's not the right process.
With 7Y sent $20. Hayden slept with a G and you're black billing?
Dude, what was that? I like him, but come on, man. We can't be doing that. The unironic race mixing and degeneracy, we just can't. I joke about it. I do joke about it all the time on the show, but it's honestly not cool. We joke about it. We hang out, I'll hang out with some niggas and stuff, but like, it's like Ye said, white people do not fuck with niggas. So yeah, I don't know what that's all
Tooth
about.
Paladin 7 cent $20. Hi Nick, I'm an Orthodox Christian white nationalist.
Sneeko's watching. Hey, I mean, guys, it's cool. No, Muslim W, happy Ramadan, Mubarak, Gooby Goo. Hey guys, it's all good, right? It's all good. Sneeko gets so, here's the thing. I feel like I just say how I feel, and no matter what I say, Sneeko gets mad. Sneeko's always crashing out on me, and it's like, you gotta let me fly, okay? You gotta let me speak freely, but he's always like, so. Said Nick fell for it. Well, he does watch the show, okay? He does watch the show sometimes, so that's not, is he not actually watching? Let me go on his kick. He is live. He's what? He is watching. He is watching. It's real. It's real. I don't know if he's live, dude. I'm watching Sneeko watching me.
Especially if you understand.
Nick's sometimes cool, but this is what Abba was pressing you about.
Yeah.
CMH.
Especially right now when we see that the pedophile blackmail operation of Epstein, they're just trying to divide the Goyim. Nick shouldn't be playing into it more. Nick is right here advocating for more division between the Goyim, which is what they are doing. They love to see Goy fight because then the Goy are doing the job that they want to do. You're just helping them out by saying this stuff. At the end of the day, it's GLM. We're both Goyim. Christians, Muslims, we're both Goyim. So instead of spreading more division there, especially when we understand who controls our country from pedophile blackmail, from the use of Israeli intelligence, this is bad rhetoric and it doesn't help your cause.
You want to pray? Mosque is over there. Okay, the designated Muslim zone is down the hall to the left. You want to rotate around the cube? Well, you know. Just saying. And listen, I love everybody. You know I love everybody, and I have Muslim friends. I do. I have Muslim friends, but the concept of Islamophobia.
Damn.
There's a bit of a clash. Excuse me.
I didn't say the word Islamophobia once in that stream. What I was saying
It
was
appears that they're just
this
like
is such a stupid thing. And to call this guy a
circle jerk.
patriot's retarded, especially when you know
They
that
all
this
watch
guy's a
each
Zionist.
other
That guy's
and
not a
stroke
patriot. He's
each
just an
other.
idiot. These people aren't bothering anybody.
blazing each other and shit.
I just said that, like,
That's
they're
kinda
praying in a
weird.
park. There are so many things that you could raise your.
Oh man, I'm in the doghouse. Oh man. Oh well. It's so hard being friends with our co-religionists, isn't it? It ain't easy. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I've done it. Now I've done it. Now I'm in big doo-doo. You knew that, Ian. You knew that was coming. All right. Well. Oh man, it's so hard. It's so hard to keep this Muslim Christian. Sneeko, just become Christian. Like, please. It would make it so much easier. It'd be so much easier if Sneeko were just Christian, but we got to be enthusiastic about Muslims praying in the park. Like, bruh. He goes, it's not bothering anybody. It's bothering me. It's bothering me. But whatever. He's right. Goyim united. Goyim united will never be defeated. That's what we're going to be chanting around the cube. Me and Sneeko marching around the cube. Goyim united will never be defeated. That's going to be me and Sneeko. Me and Sneeko marching around the cube chanting that. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but we love. Come on, Sneeko. Come on. Come on. We love you, Sneeko, but look, it is a Christian nation. Here's the thing. This is a Christian nation. You need to acknowledge that. This is a Christian nation. So he could say, well, they're not bothering anybody, but this is a Christian country. No one has a problem with Muslims being Muslim in Muslim countries. You got like 30 Muslim countries. You got Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya,
Indonesia.
Egypt, Yemen,
You even
Oman,
got
Saudi Arabia,
Indonesia,
the Emirates, Qatar,
where
Syria,
you can
Iraq,
be an Asian and
Jordan,
Muslim.
Lebanon, Turkey, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Iran. You got
plenty.
all these countries. You got like Tajikistan. But no, they got to come here.
You don't
No,
get
they
to do
got
it
to
in the
come
new
here and they got
world,
to
though.
pray in the park.
The new world is Christian.
It's like, brah, this is a Christian country.
Christian,
You're lucky
two
we
Christian
let you pray in the
continents.
mosque. That's just me. You're the
South
one
America
dividing the
and
Goyim
North
because
America,
you're like,
both
you
Christian,
want to assert
both in agreement.
your Muslim identity in a Christian nation. And when Christians rightfully point out you're not home, well, then they want to say, well, you must accept this or else. I'm just saying.
Canada is the only ones that are fucking it up
But I
and
mean,
letting all these fucking weird
what's that?
Indians and Muslims come to their country.
Let's see what the Sneeko
You're just
response
helping-
is.
Other than that,
Country.
we're all just
You're
one
all
big
a
happy family
Protestant,
of
right?
Christians.
Protestant.
Christian.
Specify Protestants and Catholics were at war with each other for so many centuries.
Lucky we let you pray in the mosque.
Mauritius? My
That's
brother
just
went
me.
to
You're the
Mauritius
one
like a year
dividing the
ago
Goyim
on
because Let's see
vacation.
Sneeko response.
You want to assert your
It's just a bunch of Indians
Muslim
because it was
identity
once
in a
owned by
Christian nation.
So it
England.
was an empty park, bro. Nobody
They're
was
just
there, so
Indians
the
that
park
the
was
English
probably like
shipped
in a
in to do
small town.
railroad work and
Nobody's
shit.
saying
It's a
I want to
public
assert
space.
that,
But it's a public space.
people are praying in a park. It's like, okay, why don't people apply? Are you a patriot if you go and start harassing people in a yoga class in the park?
Yes.
Are you a patriot because they're wearing
Yes.
tight clothing and they have their ass cheeks out? Are you a
Yes.
patriot if you say that? Oh, God is going to strike you down because you women are dressing
Christian
immodestly.
is
Is that a
still number
patriot?
one.
Or are you just disturbing
Hey,
people
it
who
is
are
what it
minding
is.
their own business?
Yeah.
And when
Yes.
See over there,
rightfully
unique.
point out
Hello?
you're not
Unique what?
home,
Unique
well, then
what?
they want to say, well, you must
No, I am home. I was born here. That's not going to change.
Okay,
accept
but
this or else.
this is a Christian country.
I'm just saying. But anyway, that's that. Let's see what the sneaker
You're just
response
helping-
is. Country.
Okay, what are we doing right now? What are we doing? Disturbing people who are minding their own business. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
And when
Yes.
Christians rightfully point
Hello?
out,
Dude, this is crazy.
well, then they want to say, well, you must
No, I am home. I was born here. That's not going to change.
Okay,
accept
but
this or else.
so now we're just like watching each other, dude. We're
Protestant-
just
Protestant,
stream
so by
sniping
logic,
each
Nick,
other now.
Can't pray to Mary. Can't pray to
But
Saint Anthony
Jesus
in
is
public
the
'cause you're
same
disturbing
God.
the
Protestants
Protestant
and
peace.
Catholics worship Jesus, not Allah. Same Bible, similar. Same God.
Let's see what the sneaker response is. Country.
Okay, what are we doing right now? What are we doing? Disturbing people who are minding their own business.
Dude, this is crazy.
Hello.
Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, it was a way to get their own people to stop cutting out their
Hey,
hearts,
groupers.
chopping their heads off.
Like watching each other.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
just-
yeah.
All right,
I'm
all right.
gonna-
We'll
I'm
collab
gonna
later.
stop
We'll
this
collab
chuck. I'm
later.
going back to the game.
Yeah,
We'll
enough of
collab
this
later.
gay
Yeah, yeah,
shit.
okay. We'll collab later.
This is gay shit.
Okay, that was a funny segment. W
Yeah,
segment.
my brother
Don't
told me
see-
that about
It's
Mauritius.
content renaissance, dude.
It's beautiful, but
Content renaissance.
they're all
We'll collab
Pakistani.
this week. Me and Sneak are going to collab this week. We're going to play Fort with Bradley Martin and maybe Aiden Ross, maybe Cheezer. So we're going to be doing our collab. We'll squash it on Tilted Towers. You know,
Tooth Paladin 7 cent $20. Hi Nick, I'm an Orthodox Christian white nationalist and I love your content. What's your opinion on people using weed for Parkinson/cancer relief, legally? Also, what is your opinion on Nostra Aetate?
What difference does it make what he
not
thinks?
a fan of Nostra Aetate and weed for Parkinson's. Yeah,
Who
I mean,
gives a
that's
fuck
fine,
what
I
he
guess.
has to
I
say
just don't
about
like it
that?
for recreational.
Narlord sent $100.
purposes.
Todd from
I also just don't like it. Smells like weed everywhere now. I was in the
It
city
seriously
over the
does.
weekend and it's just literally the stench of weed is everywhere. Always precipitated by black people.
Yep.
It's always them niggas.
I saw a
Them
black
niggas
guy at a
walk in and it's just
7-Eleven
like
the
a
other day
cloud
smoking a
of
blunt
weed
on the
stench
fucking
follows them.
sidewalk.
And litter too. Litter.
Narlord sent $100.
As
Todd from
well.
Abolish Abortion Australia on X is a fag. He and others from our U.S. are saying Catholics can help with the cause because we hold a false gospel. Idiot. Please abolish abortion in your admin.
Okay. Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Thank
Marcos
you.
321 Whelan sent $20. Hi Nick from the UK, big fan. Just wanted to know if you've heard recently anything about the new political party called Restore Britain.
Yeah.
Sound really good, like an American First Elect part, hopefully.
doing
Yeah,
really-
I don't know. I
it looks
haven't
really good.
done enough research on it. I don't like these parties, restore, reform, this, that. I don't love the name.
Reclaim.
But the guy sounds good. I don't like that he's an
Reclaim,
Elon guy.
restore.
Be interesting to see where Vance falls on this because Trump is a Farage guy. Elon is a Rupert Lowe guy.
Well, Rupert Lowe is definitely
But,
the guy with it's real deal.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Conti Town,
Nigel
Arkansas,
Farage
479
is
sent
like-
$20. Love the show, Nick. I've watched since Charlie's death.
Is
Wanted to
like
shout out all the
fucking
Arkansas
labor
Pro-Irers. There are
light.
tons of us.
You know,
My town has
he's
its
a
roots in
fucking
Midwest.
joke.
I'm beginning to
compared
attend OC this
Rupert
week.
Lowe.
Latin cross emoji.
You
Vatican
know,
City
the
emoji.
dude,
Great.
he won't even.
Love to hear
he
it.
won't-
Midwestern Globe
he's
sent
not even
$30.
gonna.
You know what? I can
deport
agree with the liberals on
anyone.
one thing.
Button this?
Reparations.
Rupert
As a
Lowe's
payment to the
like,
black
yeah, they're
community, we should
fucking
allow them to
going
be pro-choice,
home,
while
and
we
it's
have to
not
stay
going to be
alive.
fun. Like, I just have
Yeah,
mad
I don't
respect
agree
for
with-
Rupert Lowe coming out and saying, "Hey, this is going to be really difficult. It's not going to be easy. You know, it's going to be hard for everybody, but we got to do it, and it's for the best. It's for a better future." And you know what I mean? Like, he's just being straight up with this people. It breaks the normal bullshit that we get out of politicians. The guy's just being straight up like, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you fairy tales like they've been telling us for 2 decades. This is going to be tough and we're going to have to fucking crack on and get it done. Like, and you know, England, they have a really good track record of things getting right to the brink and then being able to pull it out in the end. Because they almost lost World War II. And somehow it's either they're really lucky or that's just who they are. But right at the last minute, they fucking come through clutch. I mean, you got to give it up to them. And I'm rooting for them.
Thank you, though.
Peter Geddes sent $21. Hey Nick, I've got a pretty serious job interview coming up next week and I want to impress my employer. I'm thinking of bringing a bag of Baby Bells as a gift. Have you ever brought Baby Bells to a billionaire's Thanksgiving dinner? And if so,
Dude.
how did it pan out?
Okay, great. Dude. Okay, very funny. Well done. Inside joke. Double inside joke. That's funny. The Baby Bell. Dude, don't make me laugh about the Baby Bells. You're going to piss Sneeko. If you make me laugh about the Baby Bell cheese, Sneeko's going to get
Baby
pissed
Bell
off.
cheese is
So
fire, though.
stop setting me up to piss him off. The Baby Bell cheese was crazy. Like, I'm sorry. Love my brother Sneeko, but that was just like next level. But it's okay. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's thoughtful. It's a thought that counts. I'm not joking about that. That's really
Nick
funny.
Fan sent $20. Muslims are trying to build their own third temple. Also for lead I am giving up Sneeko. I have a crippling addiction to jihad terrorists.
Okay, come on
He
now.
Havers 54 sent $150. Fuentes is our voice.
Thank you for the big super chat. So true. I need a haircut. My hair's getting so long and crazy.
Diddy Sprinkles sent $200. I love what you said about the idea of Tucker Carlson being fake. Took me way too long to realize because I was a big fan of his. You said it perfectly. Two-faced faggot.
Yeah, well, it's fairly obvious. But thank you for the huge super chat. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah. The whole like,
They're, like
hey
somebody
man, I'm
said,
just in the cabin in the woods fishing and
they've
hunting.
been colonized.
You're a trust fund elitist, dude.
Kill all millennials grow I percent $50. Took your advice and infiltrated the GOP in my area and year. I am now a voting member of each. Thanks for doing what you do. I see lots of grow wipers and even some CNs doing the same. Wanga Fs are everywhere. God bless.
Good. Love
Yeah,
to
well,
hear
that's
that.
why I'm rooting
William
for
Afton sent
England,
$100.
because if they
Donald
can
Trump has to
pull it
explain
out,
why his supporter reverted order and
that's
committed a
good
mass
news
shooting.
for us.
True.
That
Yeah,
bodes
that
well
guy did
for
not
us.
support me. He was a Trump supporter. Thank you for the big super chat. You're right.
Slim Grow I percent $20.
appreciate that.
Sending this before the stream, so sorry if you talked about it. But what are your thoughts on Fishback in Florida? He says all the right things, but to pop up out of nowhere like this is a little Seuss. Seems like a plan.
I like Fishback. I like him.
I'm going to
like
try and get Fishback
Rich
on
White
my
Agent Chad Bronco
show.
sent $100.
Because
Sending
he's
in
here in
yeses on behalf of a growing
Florida,
group of brothers in the NW
and he was like
we tried to
5
fight off
minutes
the
from
walkouts
my
against ICE,
house
but the Mexicans
not
chose
that
to group
long
together and do
ago.
one anyway. They are openly against
And
us.
I'm
I
going to
think
see
Prep Gems
if
had a
I
good type of
can.
Mexican than we Gen Z and do. One of our guys had an I
I'm
love
going to
ICE
see
sign
if
now.
I can like get like a not a gotcha, but like see if I can catch him in person and be like, "Yo, man, let me interview you for my channel." But yeah, he's in Florida, so all his campaigning is here in Florida, and I'm going to see if I can't get that guy to give me like maybe even a 10-minute interview. I don't know, whatever I can get. I'm going to try and get from Fishback and just see if I can if maybe even, if he'd be willing to have a legitimate conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Like actually answer shit and, tell me what's I mean, I might even, tell him, "Hey, what can I do? Can I volunteer this and that?" Cuz he's big news. He's big news for America First, and he's in Florida, and he's already, gone to a college that was literally closer than 2 miles from my house, so
Mexicans are threatening to kill him.
I think that shit would be dope.
Hey, thank you for the big super chat. What's YT? Are you calling yourselves YT as white people? Don't do that. Say white. Don't say YT. That's an
That's what
anti-white
colored say.
diminutive slur, practically. But I appreciate the big super chat. We love the white ass niggas. Yeah, man. Don't listen. Be careful, okay? Because these Mexicans and blacks, they're violent. Be careful. And here's the difference: they got nothing to lose. It's not that you're not tough. You got nothing to
He was
prove.
on that
Whites are as
Joel
tough as they come.
Webbins
We're
show
Vikings, okay?
yesterday,
We're
I
fucking
think.
Romans, Vikings, Nazis. We're the fiercest warriors that ever existed on the face of the planet. It's why we run the fucking planet. But they got nothing to lose. Criminal population. So just be careful. And it's not worth it. Not worth it. If Trump isn't fighting for deportations, don't blow up your future trying to fight the ICE
bit into the
walkouts in
wax
school. It's
on a
not your
Baby
battle.
Bell,
Trust me
man.
on this. I know that sounds like I'm demoralizing
I
you.
used to take that
But I'm
wax.
telling you, don't be a hero. And by that, I mean, look, it's Trump's job to do the deportations. It's the Republicans' job to shut this shit down. They're not doing it. Not your job to shut down an anti-ICE protest. You got to play by the rules until you can make the rules. I'm just saying, be safe, be smart, don't fuck up your future. You got to play the long game. Buckle up for a life of fighting for our race. And that means
Get into a good college. If you're from the Northwest Burbs, maybe you got some Zort. Maybe you got a little dough. Money. You're rich. Hey, get into a good school. Get a good job. Get some power. It's people like you with a pedigree that become senators and governors and stuff like that. So you want to play the long game. Get in a position of power. Don't fuck around with stupid stuff like that. But hey, you know what? You're patriotic for caring, but just direct the energy in the right way and in the right place. But God bless you, man. White-ass niggas going hard as fuck. It is a new generation of Hispanics. Guess what? It's a new generation of whites, too. New generation of whites, too. We're not playing games. And unlike them, we're not looking to get in a street fight or a scrum or something like that. We're playing for keeps. We're going all the way to the top. But anyway, I appreciate that.
Rich White HS Bro Chad Bronco sent $25. This issue is a lot bigger than what the news covers. We have major issues with the Mexicans here. I swear all their parents are illegal and speak no English. The few that might be legal are really on different. They hate us. Not all but most, and they are all on welfare too. I don't see how this country will stay together.
You're right about that. That's why you got to find some friends you trust. Become a weapon. Get tough. Get strong. Combat sports.
They better hope that white people don't
tactical
just
training.
out,
Get
who
some
the
guns.
fuck is going to pay for welfare? They're going to have to go back to
get prepared. Get prepared.
Picking oranges
You're right
and
about all
cabbages
that.
and shit.
Get prepared.
The Forgotten Men and Women of America sent $50. Hey,
Ain't going to be no
Trump still remembers
welfare
us?
without white people.
Okay,
the only
that's just,
people
like,
that
crazy.
fucking have welfare systems
Hey,
are
you think
white
Trump
people.
still remembers us? Forgotten men and women. Like, that's so gay and corny. Holy cornball.
Boogly Woogly sent $20. Okay, I'm calling it. Michael Tracy won. I don't agree with the extent of his minimalist view on Epstein, but when Whitney Webb, Dave Smith, and Ryan Grimm are ducking from a debate with him, man shrugging emoji.
That is, you know what? I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel exactly the same way. I don't agree with Michael Tracy completely, but why won't anyone debate him? Seriously. Why won't Whitney Webb debate him? Isn't this your whole thing? Isn't this your whole claim to fame? Why won't you debate Michael Tracy? Michael Tracy is credibly and boldly every day on the timeline saying that Epstein is not real. Where are you? Where's the debate? I would love to see will Ian Carroll debate him? Will Ryan Grimm debate him? Will Dave Smith debate him? Will Whitney Webb debate him? Someone debate this man. I want to see it. I actually want to see it. I would even put up money because I want to get to the truth and I want to know. I would put up money for one of those, not a crazy amount of money, but some money. I want to see it. I want to see Michael Tracy debate one of them. And where the fuck are they? It's a lot of bold claims being made about Epstein, and no one seems to be wanting to get involved in that. So it's a little interesting, isn't it? If it was such a open and shut thing, you'd think they'd be lining up to make a fool out of him, but for whatever reason, nobody can find the time in their schedules. Kind of strange.
Perma the Law sent $100.
Thank you for the big super chat. No message. A blessing. We used to pray for times like this. $100 super chat. No message. Amazing.
Arsenal Grover sent $625.
Yo, thank you for the huge super chat. No message. Magic Conch. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. 07's in the chat for Arsenal Groiper.
Shavery sent $20. Let's all do the Tucker Carlson LARP theme song. I'll start. Well, my collar's blue, but my neck is red. My dad was in the CIA, so I called Nick a Fed.
My collar's blue, but my neck is red. Yeah, that's me. Dude, imagine if I was a blue-collar chud. Could you actually imagine? If I was some Oliver Anthony tier chud, maybe I'd be happier.
Sonic Roy sent $100. If your bitch is the type to get stolen by Clav, then she wasn't yours to begin with. Clav is clear pilling generations of men on the nature of women.
Okay, thank you for the big super chat. Your bitch is going, okay? When you say the type, if your bitch is the type, dude, your girl is going. It doesn't matter. Your girl is going. It literally does not matter. Thank you for the big super chat. That's why, dude, these foids are not shit. Foids ain't shit. You got to get it through your head. No simping, no white knighting. Let this be a lesson. Your girl is going. It does not matter if she's the type. What type is that? Female?
Hussein Paris sent $25.
Two
Big recommendation
genders.
for Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Just watch today. It's a mind-blowing and hilarious masterpiece. One of the best movies I've seen in the last 20 years.
Yeah, someone else recommended that to me. Someone else recommended that to me earlier today.
Codhead sent $50. Rupert Lowe is echoing a lot of your points. I would love to see him endorse you publicly. Could you imagine if Restore Britain really took off and the next potential UK Prime Minister was a groiper?
Okay. Yeah,
Milano
anyway,
Grower
in
sent $25.
reality,
Nick Fuentes is the LeBron James of test tube babies.
I'm like the Michael Jordan of test tube babies. Who are some other well-known test tube babies? Are there others, or is it just me?
Luke sent $32. Too much contrarian rage bait lately. Also, you're never beating the allegations with this clav coverage.
What is contrarian rage bait? Is it when you're an idiot and I have a different opinion? I love everything's contrarian. What does that mean? I'm towing the party line. What party am I in? You know, are you paying me to have these opinions? You know what I mean? Like, you're contrarian. Contrarian against what? Like, who's putting out the opinions that I'm supposed to have? I'm supposed to have all these opinions that I'm rebelling against. Sorry, who's putting out those opinions? I don't think I'm contrarian at all. I think I'm fucking right. I'm just not some idiot chud that's like cares about the halftime show and is like saying hands off Venezuela like some brown person.
Luke sent $31. It's crazy how bad Brett Cooper wants clav. Can't really blame her though since clav
That
bombs her
is
husband to death.
crazy.
Brett has a surprising amount of cake for an e-girl. 8.9 out of 10 donk rating. Put the fries in the box, brother. Also be honest, did you bust to the porn that Ye posted on X?
Brother.
I did.
Okay, well, first of all, gross. Second of all, it was kind of hot when she was eating out of the dog bowl. Anyway, yeah, it is crazy how Brett is obsessed with clavicular. I mean, we all see it. And what does that say? It's like, Sarah Stock, and then Brett Cooper, like, what is going on with the E-Girls, man? E-Girls are on a mission to prove me right this year. But, yeah, no, I agree. Brother, put the fries in the box, brother. Dude, I love the brother. The brother is, okay, never beating the allegations, but brother is so funny. Goat.
No, Mark Noonan was right sent.
Bro said brother. Black people are coming up like, why are you wearing that hat, man? And he's like, hey, brother.
Brent Peterson sent $20. Since you muted me in live chat, I'll pay to tell you the clav obsession is gay AF. Log in and not on dudes. America.
I don't care.
Big Badinky Bones sent $100. Nick, awesome show. Every night is worth watching, I guess even tonight. Wondering what some of your idols/influences are? Remind me of Rush Limbaugh a bit.
Thank you for the big super chat. Rush Limbaugh before my time. Bro is a chud. Bro is like a pro-Iraq war chud. People always say, you're like Rush Limbaugh. What, I'm a fat pro-war chud? My influences were Bill O'Reilly. Unironically, I watched The Factor in high school religiously. I was a big Factor. I'm not even making that up. I loved the O'Reilly Factor when I was in high school. I loved The Five. I loved Greg Gutfeld. He was a huge favorite of mine. I watched Red Eye in high school every night. I loved Red Eye with Gutfeld. I loved Bill O'Reilly. I loved John Stossel, actually.
What about Lou Dobbs?
I thought he was great. They all hate me now, by the way. Stossel hates me. O'Reilly hates me. That was early on. As I got older, I got really into Sam Hyde, was huge for me. Donald Trump was huge. Alex Jones, less so, but I did watch his show every day for a while. I was really into, I'm just as a broadcaster, not ideologically as a broadcaster. Gavin McInnes was a huge influence on me in like 2017. Those were like probably my Hall of Fame was like Gavin, Trump, Sam Hyde, Ye, obviously, at that time in my life. Before that, it was like Alex Jones, Bill O'Reilly, Greg Gutfeld. So, yeah, Milton Friedman in middle school. Yeah.
Crumblery sent $20.
Good
You started this
stuff.
year world class. Now it sounds like I've tuned into the Brett Cooper show. Sorry, man.
Well, you know, look. If the show is not for pedestrians, okay, keep it moving. People expect a show to just be like, I wanted my Jew rage bait every night. Look, the show is more than just Jew rage bait. I think that's literally what it is. People just want the show to be like, and another thing, these Jews. And it's like, if you don't get that for 5 seconds, people throw a bitch fit.
Well, we haven't
If
heard
you're not
your Jew
getting your
impression in a
Jew
while.
rage
That was
porn
the
for
best.
3 seconds, it's like Binky is flying everywhere. Num Nums splattering on the wall, like, relax, okay? And that's literally it. Talk about anything, have a different opinion, have a different approach. You know, I used to think you were cool, but then you stopped doing bottom of the barrel juice slop for 3 seconds. You're right. I should have done a show about Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham said all the wars are planned in Israel. We already knew that. Like, okay, how many fucking people need to tweet the exact same thing, say the same thing, the same way every day, every time? We got it, you know? So anyway.
Tommy Goy sent $40. Have you seen The Wire? If so, did you like it?
No. Do you think I watch that show? Shows about, like, black people and the cops?
Yuval Groiper 21 sent $20. Not voting Republican next election will give us Israel first Dems anyways. The only difference will be we will have no ICE presence at all and higher consumer prices. Interested in your thoughts? AF.
Stupid.
Let me spell it out. Sent $50. A few years ago I took this girl home from the bar. I didn't know it at the time, but she ditched her BF of 7 years at the bar to go to my place and hook up. She came over with her dog a few more times and told dude she was walking the dog. He was completely oblivious. She justified it because he hadn't proposed. Don't trust these hoes.
Stories that never happened. Things that never happened. So
that
one
one
time I
sounded
cucked
real.
this girl. She wanted me more than her boyfriend. Yeah, then you woke up.
Big Groiper Fish sent $20. Always wear my blue AF hat when I'm out. Had a friend's wife say she liked my hat. She asked why it was blue and all I had to say was it's a beautiful color that makes people look and it's not to be confused with the now shameful red Magaka cap. What made you go with the blue originally?
This is what made me go with the blue. I just said we're going to take the Trump hat and we're just going to do the opposite. Trump hat is red. We're going to be blue. And then you go to a Trump rally and you're going to see a sea of red hats and gradually you'll just see more blue ones and they'll stand out. They'll stand out while blending in. Red, white, and blue. So people look at it and say, oh, blue hat, America first. Oh, and they'll see a sea of red and blue hats. That was the original idea. You go to a Trump rally, go to a thing or whatever, and you'd see some MAGA hats, you see some AF hats, and everyone would know. Those that know would know the blue hat. The little marketing genius.
070/ sent $100. We are in the mouse utopia. John Calhoun. Overcrowded, oversupplied, the male beautiful ones disassociate with society to focus on grooming while the females display masculine traits. The micro has become the macro.
Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah.
Dolo John Wick sent $20. Thoughts on proprietarianism? Natural Law Institute. I've seen some interesting videos on the subject.
Yeah, I saw an interesting video too at their Declaration of Independence signing or whatever.
Average.
Except they signed it in urine.
Average John 93 sent $100.
They signed it in biz. Do you remember they were going to sign their second declaration and the main guy pissed his pants?
Average John 93 sent $100. Mental illness is so out of hand. A lot of blue hairs in the news lately killing people.
Yeah. Well, blue hair means an old person. Blue hair is like an old person in a nursing home.
Old women.
Thank you for the big
like,
super
that's why
chat, but I know
Marge
you
had
mean.
Civil
blue hair
Ethiopian
in
sent
The
$20.
Simpsons. It was
Stepdads get
supposed
angry
to
when
be
you ask
like
them why
that.
they're raising another man's kid.
Not like mine exactly, but like when
Yeah.
women have dark gray hair.
Well, it's a touchy
blue.
Alan Wick
subject.
sent $20. Did you vote in the 2023 Chicago mayoral race?
No, I don't live in Chicago.
Callie Groy
so
sent
no.
$100. What are your thoughts on peptides vis-a-vis the crumbling moral decay of society? The GC niggas.
Okay, yeah. I love when people do that. Thank you for the big super chat.
Pantera 666 sent $20. Hello Nick, I'm a recent follower of yours. I'm curious how the term Groiper came into existence. Is it a combination of Goy/Griper? Thank you for your time and all you do. Sick.
No. And don't know 666 in the username.
Bristol
please.
sent $20. For right-wingers voting in 2028 Dem primary, I'm thinking either Kamala or Josh Shapiro would be good picks. If they won the election they'd be easy to attack and energize people against, and they wouldn't flood the country with migrants as much as people like AOC or Newsom. What do you think of the current candidates?
Everything you said is wrong.
Valentine's Day cucking sent $20. Clav cucking the guy right in front of his face reminded me of a time when I left the bar with this DDD girl while her short Jewish BF was pleading with her not to leave while his friend grabbed me through the gate. After we fucked she got back together with him. I'm no Clav by any stretch. No one is safe with a Foyd.
You really disgust
Donald
me.
Rumsfeld sent $50. My grandma is a huge fan of the
Because that never happened. Niggas just be like, there's like literally people are subhuman, man. Guys just love to tell these stories. Dude, she's probably some mid-idiot, if that even happened. Yeah, one time I cucked this girl too. I'm awesome. Great story about how you're awesome.
Donald
girl.
Rumsfeld sent $50. My grandma is a huge fan of the show. She really admires your tenacity and enthusiasm and she shares your content with all her girlfriends. Can you plaza wish Maggie a happy birthday? She would love that. DHX.
Is that real though, or are you just trolling me? Well, if that's real, happy birthday, but I don't know. I'm a little cynical about this.
Go Mayweather sent $20. I'm conflicted with your message on mass deportations. My brother is a pilot for the government and he tells me that the planes are at max capacity and the flights are frequent. But you say there are no mass deports? Make it make sense because he is my literal proof. Okay, peace, Nika.
Okay.
Eagle of Vendetta sent $20.
The numbers are what they are. The ICE will not publish the numbers because they are low. The numbers that we have say there were fewer than 230,000 deportations in 25. Well, my flight is full. Holy idiot.
Eagle of Vendetta sent $20. Every time someone says Vance is just the VP, he can't make Trump do anything. I bring up Dick Cheney.
Then everyone claps.
Napalm on Vietnamese children sent $21. The interview between you versus peers was really liberalism arguing with itself. Christian nationalism is liberalism wrapped in a cross and flag. You want the same social order as peers. You think you're rebelling. Two branches of the same root. It wasn't two different worldviews. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are.
Starga65 sent $20. The ban and hate on X shows MAGA are clowns. They forget Trump listened to Israel first, Jared the whole term. Fucked infrastructure and border wall. Bannon obviously tried to push Trump, but to no avail.
True.
Napalm
Very
on
true.
Vietnamese children sent $21. You got scared when Trump got Maduro, so the shilling from you began. You want him to fail cause it proves you wrong. Sorry you didn't listen to MAGA. You're a traitor. I would absolutely argue Trump is a true conservative, more so than a paleocon, or even you. You don't want him to buy Greenland cause it's a win for him.
What? We supported all of that. Those are the only things I supported. I want him to have Greenland. I want him to have Venezuela. What are you talking
Bro, I
about?
pervert 1 cent $20. People who would vote for Vance are the same type of people who would fall for Indian scammers. People are so gullible it's actually insane.
It is crazy.
Adventure Jeep 69 cent $20. You brought up dating apps in the intro, and not only does 5% of the guys get access to most of the girls, it seems like they have race mixing baked into the algorithm. I think this is a major factor for the high increase of mud sharks. How do we dissuade white girls from race mix?
Okay. That's just not real and not happening.
Candace
Thanks,
Owens sent
though.
$30. My adverbial IQ is honestly incredible. Reichoff sent
Okay.
$20. Love that you're encouraging us to not support the GOP. They've done nothing to make it easier for white men like us to settle down and start families. We're in the theater of the absurd. Cajun Groy sent $20.
Truth is stranger in fiction.
Cajun Groy sent $20. Happy
Makes you want to get in the fetal condition.
Cajun Groy sent $20. Happy Mardi Gras, Nick, and hope you have a blessed Lent. Have you ever visited New Orleans or want to someday? We are a very
Nope.
Catholic city with a lot of Irish/Italian. We have the second highest amount of Sicilians behind NYC. Lots of amazing gluttonous food and good old traditional people. You are welcome anytime.
Oh, I am? You're going to welcome... What do you have, the key to the city? No, I have no interest in New Orleans at all. No interest. It just seems like a black shithole, to be honest with you. And so, no, I never felt like I wanted to go there. Sicilians, that's the draw. Dude, I'm not Sicilian. I'm Calabrian. That's as southern as I get. Sheesh. Yeah, and there's some interesting people
Protestant
that come
Toast sent
from
$20.
there.
Did you see Sam Hyde's show with Ken O'Keefe? If so, thoughts? Thanks for the show, Votto.
I did not.
Brennan Stewart sent
see it.
$20. I do not trust my life with my wife. I do trust my life with my bros. Clav was the villain. Women were designed to be conquered and they love it. Men need to be held accountable. Women are incapable.
Ugh, terrible.
Blue Star sent $20.
How stupid you
Blue
are.
Star sent $20. I used to wonder how people believed that the Nazis turned the Jews into soap and lampshades. After seeing hysterical Epstein fanfic on my timeline, I no longer wonder.
Yeah.
Even Jake Shields, who frequently mocks the lampshade myth, has been posting insane Epstein fanfic tweets. The Goyim have gone insane.
Well, I like Jake, but some of these maximalist claims are just insane. They're literally talking about vampires, and not Jake, but like other people are talking about vampires and lizards and cannibals and witches, and it's like, yeah, I mean, is there any boundary to this stuff, or are we just gonna the most fantastical stuff just has to be
Cubby
true?
1369Y sent $20. In the past, you've praised the movie Drive and its soundtrack, I believe. Do you like the synthwave genre?
Okay.
The Midnight is coming to the Salt Shed in
Oh
May.
my
Fire emoji.
gosh. For fuck's sake, dude. Worst super chat. What is with the preamble? In the past, you've praised the movie Drive. Horrible, horrible. Awful.
White Boy Long sent $20. Nick, I'm a huge fan. I think you're very intelligent and unbiased. I think you're very important in the current landscape of politics. How many inches is your cock?
Okay,
Luma
thank
sent
you.
$20. Boulder City has a right to defend itself.
Great,
Wolf
thanks.
2318 sent $20. Sad about no mass deportation. Bad future.
It is
Moon
what it
37
is.
sent $20. The Tutsi cries out in pain as he strikes you. Hang. Suicide Bee Immigration sent $20.
Very
You
good.
said only a radical right candidate would have the will to actually deport the millions of illegals. Is there any path to removal without conflict both here in the US and Europe? Sincerely, Clav.
No.
Snapping Block
Nope.
sent $20. Yesterday the Coast Guard reported several fishing vessels carrying armed personnel in hazmat suits intercepting offshore oil rigs in Texas. It seems they flew in helicopters for further investigation.
Yeah, hazmat helicopter just flew over my house. I bet they're carrying the Loch Ness Monster from Epstein Island.
Wilhelm sent $20. Why don't you create a nationalist party and get other pro-white figures, for example Orville, Thomas Rousseau to fall in behind you? It feels like we are too stratified to ever succeed. I'd like to see an X space with you guys debating/discussing this.
Hilarious, hilarious.
LFG Boys sent $20.
You're funny.
Trump is Sulla. Date is Pompey.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, yeah. Maybe it's time to retire. Maybe it's just like, okay. Come on now. Yeah, okay.
LFG Boys
sure.
sent $20. Trump is Sulla. Date is Pompey. Fuentes is Caesar. Clav is Octavian. Hail the first emperor clavicular.
Okay.
Huckleberry 999 sent $20. How much worse do you think society, government, economy, etc. will get before it gets better? CJ and Roy % $20.
Okay.
Pedophile Bacterometa Group have been trying to lure Clav into deals lair to butt. Slay3R8888 Gaming sent $100. You took zero news and cooked anyway. Great show. Also, the nightly prayer sessions in the AF Plus group chat have been the best thing for my life. You have some amazing people in there. Thank you for everything, man. We are with you all the way.
Thank you for the big super chat. Oh, I'm glad you like the show. Yeah, you know, we got to scrape the bottom of the barrel and feed the slop to the masses every day, as the schedule demands, as the schedule calls for.
Shave reset $20. Direct quote
And
from
it is
Clav.
what it is.
Nick's worst take is that red onions belong on burgers from the 213 to 214 stream at around the 7 hours to...
Okay, this is just like not a funny run-on joke. Thank you,
JD
though.
sent $100. Best content and show and no one else comes close. By the way, I have donated thousands before and for some reason my limit is 100. Entropy is the same limit cap there too.
That's weird. Well, thank you for the big super chat
Perspective Artisan
anyway.
sent $20. This brownish gray is a better color for you than the navy. I think your autumn palette, so darker or more muted warm tones like brown or olive green.
Fucking back in. What? Fuck.
That we get to say brown clown
Oh wow,
and
it
the
did.
other one. And he's
Yeah,
like,
sorry
what
about
can I
that,
call
guys.
white people?
It
What can I
fucking
say?
totally
Well, clowns are
dropped
right.
it on its own,
Okay.
as usual.
Okay. Well,
Per the usual.
it's okay. Why are you like,
I don't
we're
understand why
always
the
like,
fuck it
let's
does
be
me
a
like
little, take it on the chin. You know, it's not that serious. It's not personal. We're all friends here. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. Damn. Sneako's a little pressed.
that. No, it just randomly will
love him,
shut my
man.
stream off as
He's
if
just
I press
hungry because
stop
it's
stream.
Ramadan. He hasn't eaten since
It's the weirdest thing.
since the sun came up.
Wisco
So
Bro
it's
at
only the
$20.
YouTube
Maryland was
stream
founded by
gets
Catholics and
cut.
Charles Carroll, a Catholic, signed
I
the Declaration
don't
of
get
Independence
it.
Lowell.
It's
Let's
fucking
fucking go.
ridiculous.
070 sent $100. How do these even work? Did my first one get
Really
read?
pissing me
I
off.
think so. Thank you for the big super
Noah
chat.
sent $25.
Appreciate
I respect
it.
your
Well,
relationship
no,
with Sneako even though
only
he
the
snaked you and your
YouTube
community on
stream
several
gets
occasions and
cut
doesn't hold a
because
single
it's the
belief and
main
angle bites you every other day and
encoder.
grip it his way into a religion and thinks
All
has
the
Steven
other
Spielberg
ones
for
are
using fish on legs.
secondary. It's
Besides that,
fucking
has pretty cool.
bullshit, man.
Come on now. We love Sneako.
Straight up bullshit.
You got
I lose a
Sneako is
shitload of fucking
a good dude, okay? He never
watchers
snaked me.
for that bullshit.
He never snaked me. We had differences at times, and there were times when
So whack.
he didn't want to be close to me for career reasons, but I don't think that's a snake. I think that's his prerogative, you know. And I told him that. I told the, you know, full disclosure, I told him in private, I said, you should distance yourself from me. And we had that conversation many times because he was conflicted about it. And, you know, we would talk. And I literally told him, like, I do not mind if you distance yourself. The only reason I got mad, I don't want to relitigate it, but the only reason I got mad is because he said he would do the podcast and then he didn't. I don't want to relitigate it, but that is why I had an issue with it, from my perspective. But for years, look, he got heavily canceled for associating with me. He paid a steep price. He didn't want to pay that price in perpetuity. I didn't blame him. I told him, I said, look, if you want to do
Show's still
lifestyle
going.
art content, then you should focus on that. But he
Like
never
it's
snaked
still-
me. I reject that. I know you're trolling a little
He's
bit,
still
but he never
alive.
snaked
He
me.
hasn't shut his
And
feed
I don't
yet.
agree that he doesn't hold a single belief. I think he holds beliefs, but like
He's
everybody,
got at least
we're all
10
finding
minutes
our
to
way.
go.
We're all
Even
on
if
our
he stopped
journey,
right now, it would be 10.
and we
left.
shouldn't punish people for changing their minds. I think that some people are earnestly searching, and we are all on an ideological, religious, social journey. And
Yep.
I don't like that if somebody changes their mind or if they experience personal growth, and you say, "Oh, well, you switched up. Well, you're not earnest." You know, whether somebody is earnest is easy to tell. Have they sacrificed something? And Sneako obviously did. Sneako sacrificed a lot for his views on many things: COVID, me, the Jews, Israel. So, you know, people always say if you change your mind, it means you're not earnest. Well, it can be a sign that you're not earnest, but the real tell is, did you stay true to your beliefs when it was unpopular? Did you stay true to your beliefs when it cost you something? That's the test of earnestness. If you do
Yeah.
that and then you change your mind later, you know,
People change their minds.
you have to reflect on it.
Everybody
It's not
has
by itself
changes of
means
heart. It's
you're
why
not a
did you
sincere
change your
actor.
mind?
But anyway, that's my glaze. That's my glaze for Sneak. He's mad that I'm glazing clavicular so much. That's my Steeko
Meeplemore
glaze.
sent $20. Just got promoted at work. Question: would you let Sneeko in your cabinet?
Oh my well, he's not Christian, so I don't know. He could be my ambassador to Afghanistan. He could be my ambassador to Saudi Arabia. He'll go there. He can, he can set up the consulate.
Raymond
there.
298 sent $20. God bless you.
Thanks.
Electrician Grower sent $25. Hi Nick, big fan of the show from the UK here. I remember you said a while back now how Brits have a stupid nickname for everything, and it got me thinking how true that was, especially in the construction trades. An electrician is referred to as a Sparky, a carpenter is a chippy, and the guy who steals your tools is Romanian.
Okay.
That is true. That's so weird. Sparks.
Of course, it had to become a super
same thing with
joke.
like
British people have no sense of humor.
Merchant seaman.
Your tools is a Romanian.
The radio guy. They just called him Sparks.
Shut up.
Like, what's the point of that?
Shut up,
Nick,
dude.
like,
Why are British people so
jobs?
cringe, man? It's a Sparky, conference is a chippy, and guy steals your tools is a Romanian. Shut up, dude. That is so bad. That sucks. Romanian, dude, shut the fuck up. Europeans are fucking cringe. No offense. I love my Euro brethren. They're my people and I love them, but they're fucking cringe. Americans are.
Oh, there it goes. Bam. But for some reason, yeah, when he cuts it off, it doesn't let me go back to where we were just at. What the fuck? Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Sorry about that bullshit. This fucking YouTube stopped my stream. I don't know. But appreciate y'all watching. Hey, hook me up with a like and a subscribe if you didn't. Also, if you could like my page or subscribe to the page on Facebook, Night Scotsman. I'm trying to get enough people so I can start streaming on Facebook too. But and also I'm streaming on X again. So y'all take it easy. I think on X it's just Night Scotsman. Note the, but check both. Until tomorrow evening,